It's Tuesday, April 7th. Today, wrongfully accused of exporting cannabis. How a Winnipeg couple became ensnared in an international drug smuggling attempt and the evidence that helped clear their names. Also today, the challenges to be on air, why Canadian campus radio is at risk, and how local stations are pushing for a more sound future. Plus, creating an excitement, why malls might be seeing a resurgence, and what's in store for the vacated location in Portage-la Prairie. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Tandy Vera is live at the Leaf today. It's such a great place. Absolutely. Brand new exhibit there. It's called Kaleidoscope of Spring. And so we're going to find out a little bit more about the actual exhibit and take you around and show you some of the really cool features as well. You're going to want an escape and get into the heat after what's in store.
The Leaf would be the perfect place to kind of hide away over the next couple of days. Honestly, what's coming does not make me excited to have to tell you about it, really.
Or anyone.
It is going to be pretty ugly over the next couple of days. Now, we're not there yet. Temperatures, though, they are below seasonal. We're starting out at -8, and it feels more like -14, and that comes with a 14K wind out of the south. The pressure is falling, and the humidity sitting at 88%. Now, it's on the clearer side to kick off your morning, at least here in the southeast. Southwestern Manitoba seeing some clouds. West of that, through parts of Saskatchewan, the snow has already started, and all of that will be passing on through. An Alberta clipper, here it comes, and it's going to be harder hitting in areas probably a little bit north of us, through the Parklands, Interlake. Environment Canada is warning of 15 to 30 centimeters. Now, it begins today, but you're going to see it really hanging around for the next couple of days. So there this afternoon, we're just beginning to see the first few flakes of snow falling. Now, I mentioned heavier in areas just to the north of us. We could still be seeing 2 to 10 centimeters of snow. When systems like this are passing through, it's really hard to get a gauge on how much snow we're likely to see. But you can see through central Manitoba that it is going to be the most active in areas probably just north of the Trans-Canada Highway. So that's where the snow will really be stacking up. Heavier clouds throughout parts of northern Manitoba, but you're not looking at much in the way of issues, not like us here through central mostly, and then parts of southern Manitoba. This will continue throughout Wednesday, tapering off eventually, and then on the other side, beautiful temperatures are coming and some really nice conditions as well. But the next couple of days will be on the uglier side. 0 degrees today, pushing above the freezing mark, but it just means more of that rain-snow mix or icier conditions. It is later on into the week where we really see those improvements. Temperatures soaring slightly above seasonal with double digits this weekend.
Thank you, Terry. When you check your bags and then board a plane, you expect it will be smooth sailing from there, but that's not what happened to a German citizen visiting his Winnipeg girlfriend. He was yanked out of line at his connecting gate in Toronto and wrongly arrested for exporting more than 30 kilograms of cannabis. And as CTV's Harrison Shin shows you, why he was singled out for the mistaken arrest might surprise you.
A trip to visit family in Germany went sideways for Jan Baumann. He and his partner Charlene Ranadira were flying out of Winnipeg Airport on February 19th. When they lined up at their connection gate in Toronto, Canadian Border Services officials were checking IDs. Ranadira boarded, but
they just immediately handcuffed me and pulled me against the wall, and I didn't know what happened. I never had this before. And got rid of all my things.
Ranadira turned around when a flight attendant told her what happened. Both were detained, and Baumann was accused of exporting 33 kilograms of cannabis to Germany.
I just kind of started laughing, and I was like, you found, and I asked him, I was like, you found cannabis in Jan's backpack.
An RCMP officer took over about 6 hours later. That's when Ranadira says she showed her doorbell cam footage from that day, showing which bags they left Winnipeg with. Baumann sent this backpack as checked baggage with Air Canada, but there was another piece of luggage that he wasn't aware of.
They explained me, of course, during the discussions that somebody cut my backpack and put it to another luggage piece, like a big suitcase.
When we got to Frankfurt, we looked at Jan's bag tag, and this was his bag tag.
In a media release, RCMP said they were called to help border officials on that day and on March 12th arrested 32-year-old Atasha Wethley for the incident. According to police, Wethley was an Air Canada employee working in the airport's baggage room. Ranadira says if it wasn't for the doorbell video, it could have ended badly.
We did everything by the book. No, like our bags were never left unattended. We put them straight onto the belt. Everything was good. And then, oh, this whole 12-hour nightmare happened.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Air Canada employee accused in this case was released with conditions. None of the charges has been tested in court. Bauman says on their trip back to Winnipeg, he was told by a border official that the couple is now flagged in the system for a closer look. They're frequent travelers, and he fears they will face more scrutiny. Calgary police say 2 people were seriously hurt after a car rolled and fell off an overpass Monday morning. Police say 2 adults were taken to hospital, one in life-threatening condition. Not clear what led to the crash, but roads were icy at the time. The crash shut down a critical route for traffic heading downtown. The cost of jet fuel is skyrocketing as the war in Iran continues, and that will end up bringing passengers down. Ticket prices are rising as airlines begin implementing full surcharges. CTV's Tyler Barreau reports.
Even as Arfan Rashid prepares for his flight to Chicago, he doesn't see himself getting on planes unless required.
Like maybe I would travel only for business purpose.
Originally from Pakistan, he won't be flying home anytime soon as the war on Iran has raised safety concerns in some regions and hiked the cost of jet fuel just about everywhere. Air Canada recently announced a surcharge for its vacation packages reflecting increased costs of ground packages, while WestJet said last week it would be adding a temporary fuel surcharge of $60 starting Wednesday on all bookings made with a companion voucher.
We're looking at getting cash, additional cash, from the use of frequent flyer points.
WestJet is also scaling back operations by 1% in April and 3% in May, consolidating flights on lower demand routes and adjusting the travel period for seasonal offerings. Fuel is the biggest contributor to airline operating costs. According to Graddick, about a third of the world's aviation fuel originates through the Strait of Hormuz, which is now shut down by the war in Iran. He says jet fuel continues to climb, sitting above $170 a barrel. Prior to the war, it was at 65.
Nothing has gone through there in 6 weeks. The last of those ships to arrive in destination is this week. The work keeps going and the strait is closed. That pipeline is still going to take at least 6 weeks to get back into flow.
A major disruption, which Graddick warns could have airports in Asian countries unable to provide fuel. One travel consultant says now is the time to have insurance.
Be flexible because dates and routes may change, and avoid tight connections. More schedule volatility may occur.
Travelers heading out, not sure if they want to deal with the headache going forward.
Definitely causes some pause and thinking before you travel.
I think going overseas or to Europe, it probably will be.
There is not a very convenient situation that I will travel for pleasure.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
You have about 2 more weeks to let the federal government know what you think of LED lights, headlights that is. Transport Canada launched the survey after getting complaints from drivers who say modern headlights are too bright and create too much glare. It comes after the City of Vancouver asked the federal government to intervene, saying the blinding glare needs to be regulated. The 15-minute survey is on the Government of Canada's website. U.S. President Donald Trump spoke with the crew in space, telling them they've made America proud.
Well, I look forward to seeing you in the Oval Office. I'll ask Jared to bring you over, and I'll ask for your autograph, because I don't really ask for autographs much, but you deserve that. You really are something. Everybody's talking about this. And
President Trump called the crew modern-day pioneers. He also congratulated Jeremy Hansen on his courage. President Trump told him that he has spoken with Wayne Gretzky, Prime Minister Mark Carney, and other friends he has in Canada, and that everyone is proud of Hansen. A troll museum in Norway is giving visitors a new way to see the country's famous creatures.
The museum is about Norse folklore, primarily trolls, because trolls are one of the most important parts of Norwegian folklore.
They're combining Norway's national folklore with augmented reality technology to bring them to life. Trolls are said to live in caves or hills in Scandinavia, and in some cases in the depths of the sea. The museum plans to expand and open a new hall focusing on the local folklore of northern Norway. Very, very cool. Here's a look at what's happening now on the Norwood Bridge. No trolls hanging out under this bridge. It looks like things are moving quite well to start off. There's barely anyone out right now at this point. If you see any issues out on the streets, please send us a text at 10400. Let's go now to Tandy Vera, who's live at the Leaf this morning. It's such a beautiful place to be. It's so tropical and gorgeous. Good morning, Tandy.
Good morning, Rochelle, and hello, Manitoba. Spring season is here, and I know it might not look like it outside, and it might not feel like it, but if you're looking for a spring escape, then the Leaf is the perfect place to be. They have a new display on that's called the Kaleidoscope of Spring, and it features vibrant blooms, bright colors, from tulips, daffodils, everything you can think about when you want to think spring, they have it here. And I gotta say, it smells heavenly in here. Just walking into this beautiful place, I love being here. It's one of my favorite places to be. Later on during the show, we're going to be chatting with the team to chat about how much work it takes to put on a display like this, as well as just to maintain it. So if you're looking for a little spring escape this morning, stay tuned with us here on CTV.
Okay, thank you, Tandy. And yeah, the Leaf might be the only place that looks like spring this morning.
Especially later this afternoon, that's when things will really start to look wintry here through much of central and southern Manitoba, and that's because of the Alberta Clipper that is on our doorstep, just knocking away, and it doesn't matter. You can put that blanket up over your head and pretend that you don't hear anyone at the door, but she's coming for us anyway. -7, that's where we're sitting right now. Feels like -13. South winds at the moment, they're 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 88%. It is still quite clear out here this morning, and already seeing the glow off to the east with the sun rising later this morning, later this hour, in fact, at 6:53. So we will actually enjoy a little bit of sunshine before it clouds over, and that's only thanks to the sun rising as early as it is, because by later this morning and through midday, heavier clouds are expected, and then early into the afternoon, we'll probably begin to see those first few flakes of snow. And yes, I had mentioned earlier that it will be more the areas just to the north of us that will see the hardest hit of this system. 15 to 30 centimeters it could be falling through part of Interlake, Parklands area. It's more of central Manitoba as opposed to southern Manitoba, where we're certainly going to see some of that snow. It just might not be stacking up as much, and we will luck in with some slightly mild enough temperatures that some of that should melt on contact. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Good morning. The fight to stay on the air is a worthwhile cause. That's the message from the campus radio community. This comes as several small radio stations across the country are at risk of closing down. Here in Winnipeg, volunteers say the stations are a voice for the voiceless. CTV's Joseph Bernacki listens in on what radio stations are doing to survive.
You're listening to 101.5 UMFM. I'm Avery, and this is In Between and Out Of.
Every Monday afternoon at 3, volunteer Avery Nickpon takes to the U of M airwaves. When she's not spinning punk, folk, or electronic music on the air, she studies civil engineering.
Once I come in the booth, I don't have to worry about exams or whatever's going on in my life. I can just talk about what music I like at the moment or what artists are interesting me.
She joined UMFM in September and hasn't looked back.
It's just really nice to be able to have a small community of people who are interested in the exact same things you are.
She hopes UMFM will be around forever, but the future of some campus radio stations is not so sound. Ottawa's CHUO stopped live broadcasting in December, and just last week, Newfoundland's Memorial University Student Union voted to stop funding CMHR.
I can't help but feel a little worried when I see things like that happen, because you always wonder, well, we do a lot on this campus, but that can always happen here, right?
Jared McKittiak joined UMFM in 1999 and became station manager in 2003. He says the past year has been difficult as universities navigate declining post-secondary enrollment. Add in the shuttering of journalism programs and making some student levies optional, it adds up to less stations on air.
In Ontario specifically, that student fee becomes opt-inable or opt-outable this fall, with the Government of Ontario attempting to make it more affordable for students.
Barry Rook, executive director of the NCRA, says 255 campus and community stations across Canada have no stable funding. It's why they are lobbying the federal government for a $30 million per year investment.
What we're looking for is just a small amount from the federal government to allow the stations to really focus on ensuring that the doors are open.
McKittiak says that's worthwhile to support voices like Nick Pons that you won't hear anywhere else.
You find your favorite 5 or 6 shows, you're going to tune in every week.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The federal Conservatives are rolling out a new series of ads starting today.
History will not judge us by the disruptions we faced, but by how we responded.
The ads will focus on issues like affordability and national sovereignty. It's part of an effort from leader Pierre Poilievre to strike a more measured tone with voters. The tagline of this new campaign is affordable, safe, strong, here at home. We're now learning more about ICE agents and their potential presence at upcoming FIFA World Cup games in Canada. There are currently 5 ICE offices in Canada, including in Toronto and Vancouver, which will host matches this summer. But an ICE spokesperson says agents don't carry guns in Canada. They also don't make arrests or execute search warrants here. They can work with Canadian authorities on investigations, but Public Safety Minister Gary Anand Asangari says the agency has no authority or jurisdiction in our country. A new study in the U.S. reveals reputable health groups in the U.S. are unintentionally funding medical misinformation. Researchers at Yale University found health and government organizations in America accounted for more than 10% of ad revenue on websites promoting misinformation. Between 2021 and 2024, millions of dollars in ad spending landed on unreliable sites, often inadvertently. Groups say this is because automated programs can place credible ads next to harmful content. The study warns these ad placements can legitimize false claims and diminish public trust in government health agencies. Canada's Matt Dunstone had to settle for silver over the weekend as the Swedish team claimed yet another men's world curling championship.
Just needs to set him up with the Dunstone fashion. Well run it back, yellow onto red. There's your 2 points. Canada, it's game on.
But it wasn't for lack of effort. Dunstone made a few impressive shots, which helped keep his team in contention right to the end. However, he missed an attempted angle raise for 2 in the 10th end, handing the Swedes a 9-6 victory.
Just couldn't get much going with a team that's making every shot, and you know, they showed today why they're 8-time world champions. And Nick was the exact matchup you know, I was hoping for, given, you know, he's got the most world titles, he's the king of this event, and you know, just wasn't meant to be for us today. They were just way too strong.
The game brought an end to Dunstone's 10-game win streak at the event, while Sweden's Skip extended his record for world titles to 8. Dunstone also promised to reveal in a few days who would replace retiring veteran second E.J. Harnton. Who says Easter is only for people? A zoo in Croatia got its animals an Easter treat, giving them a reason to join in on the festive fun. Zookeepers served up Easter eggs to monkeys, chimpanzees, and even bears, the eggs being stuffed with each animal's preferred food. Visitors to the zoo crowded around to witness the Easter enjoyment. We're still enjoying it. Here's some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound median and middle lanes on Sherbrooke Street will be closed for sewer work between Portage and Ellis Avenue. Following the rush on Main Street, the southbound curb lane will be closed from Portage to Pioneer, and the eastbound median lane on Broadway will be closed from Edmonton to Donald. If you see any issues out on the streets, please text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
And looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Okay, here we go with winter all over again. I know, listen, I am not happy about the news that I'm going to be delivering, or more so, I'm not happy about the conditions we're going to be experiencing. Snow is on the way. Some places will get walloped. It's mostly going to be areas just north of the Trans-Canada or the Yellowhead Highway, like right in kind of through central Manitoba, but southern Manitoba will certainly see a few flakes and maybe more than a few. We could be seeing some raindrops too. All sorts of things will be happening. Temperatures milder than yesterday, but still slightly below seasonal, with -4 being a normal low. Most of us are just a couple degrees cooler than that this morning here in the most southern stretch, and then seeing those more minus double-digit temperatures as we're looking through central Manitoba up into the north. High minus teens, low minus 20s. That's where we're sitting right now. We will then factor in the winds and feel the chill of it all, with those wind chill values pushing into the high minus 20s up around the Churchill area. Here in Winnipeg, feeling like minus 13 this morning. Still clear for now, but the clouds are moving in, and with it will come the snow. And that snow, like I said, could pack a punch. We could be seeing plenty of flurries, or here in the south, flurries mixed with rain by the time tomorrow rolls around, because the temperatures today will be getting up to -1. I mean, when you compare it to seasonal, 8 degrees, no, we're nowhere near that, but we're at least getting close to the freezing mark for later on this afternoon. Then tomorrow, 3 degrees. This will continue overnight and through tomorrow, more of a rain-snow mix as it warms up a little bit more. Speaking of warming up, it does look far more pleasant toward the end of the week and the weekend, when we're back up to seasonal temperatures, and then double digits to kick off the weekend. I love this shot. So look right on the top of that haystack there. That's Rudy, the billy goat. Love this, king of the castle. Thanks to Josh for sharing this photo with us, and keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. For the first time ever, human eyes observed the far side of the moon. An Artemis 2 astronaut set a new record for being the furthest humans from Earth during a lunar flyby. CTV's Heather Butts reports.
From the cabin of integrity here.
A monumental moment for deep space exploration, marked with some poignant words by Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen.
As we surpass the furthest distance humans have ever traveled from planet Earth, we do so in honoring the extraordinary efforts and feats of our predecessors in human space exploration.
An historic milestone, the farthest humans have ever traveled from Earth. 4 astronauts on board the Orion space capsule, breaking the distance record set by Apollo 13 more than 50 years ago.
Today, for all humanity, you're pushing beyond that frontier.
Mission Control even sending a pre-recorded message from the late Apollo 13 commander Jim Lovell.
Welcome to my old neighborhood.
Canada's astronaut welcoming others to beat this record.
We choose this moment to challenge this generation and the next to make sure this record is not long-lived.
Then another milestone, as the crew proposed naming 2 newly identified craters, Integrity after their spacecraft, and a second to honor a member of their space family, Mission Commander Reed Weissman's late wife.
It's a bright spot on the moon. And we would like to call it Carol, and you spell that C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
The crew members embracing one another during an emotional moment in space. For several hours, their lunar flyby was under constant observation, with scientists on the ground watching and listening intently.
A deep hole, and then there's like 2 island rays pointing off.
My gosh, that was an amazing picture you just painted.
For billions of years, we have only seen one side of the moon as it orbits the Earth, much like 2 people circling one another, always keeping eye contact.
I don't know if Catherine and Devin are still there, but if they are, just wanted to just let them know how much fun we're having out here. It's extraordinary to be on the far side of the moon right now, just see it hanging out there, looking back at the Earth. And Ashley and Caitlin, I know you're back in Canada, but if you happen to be watching too, just wanted to say hi to all you guys. Love you guys, and we'll be heading back your way shortly.
That powerful message came just before the crew experienced a planned 40-minute blackout in communication with home base as they circled the moon. The capsule now en route back to Earth, which will take several days, with a scheduled splashdown on Friday.
-7 outside this morning. It's a little bit cooler than you'd expect this time of year, although we have no idea what to expect because we've not yet had a chance to really experience seasonal temperatures. Even with that little bit of a warm up over the weekend, it still never did quite get to what is normal for this time of year. So -7 feels more like -13. That's with a south wind, 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 88%. Now, we do have fairly clear conditions right now through the southeastern part of the province, northwestern Ontario. Ontario as well. But the clouds are moving in, and more than that, the snow is going to come along with them. So pretty much all of southern parts of central Manitoba will be seeing the heavier clouds. Even northern Manitoba might be seeing a few extra clouds, but you're not likely to see all of the precipitation that we'll be seeing or getting hit with here in the south. It'll likely start probably about midday or early afternoon. Some scattered flurries off and on throughout the day today, and those winds increasing out of the south at times gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. At 0 degrees, that's a nasty wind. It won't be pleasant when it increases. And then that snow will continue to fall overnight, as we only fall to -1, so barely dropping off overnight, rising again through the day tomorrow. That means the flurries, which will continue, will likely start to show in more of a liquid form at times. So a rain-snow mix, northwest winds at about 20 kilometers per hour. They should be easing and shifting somewhat in the afternoon. From there, the warm-up continues. The snow will taper off. Probably still some heavier clouds Thursday, but sunshine and seasonal temperatures Friday. Haven't been able to say that for a while. Or above seasonal temperatures we're expecting this coming weekend.
A vacant mall in Portage-la-Prairie has new owners. A local group purchased the mall, which opened in 1979 and closed at the end of 2024. And as CTV Jeff Keel shows you, local leaders are thrilled.
Barry Wright was in high school when the mall opened in Portage-la-Prairie in 1979.
There was lots of stores. A Safeway was there, and just lots of different stores, clothing stores, and there was a food court, and it was kind of a meeting place in Portage.
But over the years, stores started closing or pulling out of the mall, including anchor tenants Safeway and Walmart, which was originally Woolco. Then in December 2024, the mall closed for good, leaving one business open which was physically connected to the building.
Not much left here other than the Ronas.
And now the owners of that Rona are part of a local group that has purchased the mall, creating an excitement about the future of this site.
We're just thrilled that local ownership has purchased it. As a council, it's been on our sort of radar and agenda in our economic development office.
The parking lot has a Tim Hortons, and a Wendy's is going up too. Mayor Sherilyn Knox is confident this can be a successful development. She says a study is currently underway to determine what Portage is missing, including retail.
So we know we'll have some really good data for that ownership to be able to talk about, what some possibilities are.
But it's unclear what the owners have planned, whether this could reopen as a mall, or other types of storefronts, or something else. Still, some retail experts say malls are making a comeback.
Particularly for younger consumers, so what they call Gen Z and Gen Alpha, from teenage folks up to, mid-20s.
No matter what is done with the building, Barry Wright is hopeful the sale will lead to something new.
I think it'll be good for Portage, get some businesses back at this end of town. And
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Portage-la-Prairie.
There were fresh strikes in Iran this morning ahead of the deadline set by U.S. President Donald Trump. This attack left widespread damage in a city in northern Iran. Israel has said strikes were conducted in Tehran and other areas across Iran this morning. The Israeli military also sent out a warning telling people not to travel on trains. This suggests the country's rail network may become a target. U.S. President Trump has given Iran until 8 p.m. Eastern to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Every bridge in Iran will be decimated. Every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding.
Iran remains defiant as the deadline approaches. It has rejected a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire while releasing this footage of another U.S. aircraft being shot down. Iran claims several U.S. planes were destroyed during the rescue of a stranded airman. Meanwhile, the U.S. Security Council is expected to vote today on a resolution to protect shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. A U.S. federal judge has ordered that the contract for the new White House ballroom be made public. The ruling stems from a Freedom of Information request by an advocacy group in October. That same month, the East Wing was demolished to make room for Donald Trump's $400 million ballroom project. The administration has 2 weeks to hand over the contract. There was an emotional moment between the Artemis astronauts and Mission Control requesting that an unnamed crater on the moon be dedicated to Carol Wiseman. Carol is the late wife of Mission Commander Reed Wiseman.
It's a bright spot on the moon, and we would like to call it Carol, and you spell that C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
You can hear the emotion in Jeremy Hansen's voice as he makes the announcement, saying that at certain times this bright crater will be visible from Earth. Carol was 46 when she died of cancer in 2020. After wiping away tears, you can see the 4 astronauts pulling together for a hug. The Artemis 2 crew also requested another crater be called Integrity, which is the name of their spacecraft. As the 4 astronauts flew deeper into space than any humans before them, the Orion spacecraft entered a period in which the moon eclipsed the view of the sun. Mission Commander Reed Wiseman called the eclipse an absolutely spectacular, magnificent experience. And Victor Glover, the Artemis 2 pilot, talked about how baffling the view was, saying it is truly hard to describe. We're also learning this view was only possible because of perfect timing. Had the astronauts lifted off after the April launch window, the solar eclipse from the moon would not have aligned. A U.S. judge has thrown out a proposed class action lawsuit that accused the makers of popular Stanley brand tumblers of hiding that the water bottles contained lead. The colorful tumblers became popular thanks to social media influencers. Litigation began after reports of possible lead contamination went viral in 2024. The manufacturer has acknowledged a small quantity of lead is used but is not accessible to consumers. In dismissing the proposed action, the judge said, quote, a specific and plausible risk of harm was not demonstrated. Here's a look at traffic now along McPhillips Street. Looks like things are moving quite well starting off this Tuesday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, please let us know. Let's look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is higher. It stands now at $1.81. The provincial average is $1.70. In Winnipeg, the average is also the same, $1.70. And the lowest price in the city is $1.57. All this information is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Here's a look at some of the beautiful flowers set up at the Leaf right now. It's spring fun happening there. We're going to tell you about what's on and how you can check it out for yourself. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
All right, it's pleasant out here this morning. The wind's on the lighter side. We do have some cold and below seasonal temperatures, but it hasn't started snowing yet. So I'm going to call this a pleasant start to your day, knowing what's to come. -7 is where we're sitting right now, when -4 would be that normal low. We factor in that wind, which isn't even that strong. It's just a 15K wind out of the south. That's light to moderate, in fact, but it makes -7 feel like -13 as a result. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 88%. Still on the clearer side outside, but that's all going to change. We've got some clouds that'll be moving in. Southwestern Manitoba is already starting to see them, and just west of the border, the snow has already started, and all of that will be passing on through. An Alberta clipper that's coming for much of central and southern Manitoba. Hardest hit areas will likely be through a more central stretch of the province around the Parklands, Interlake areas. 15 to 30 centimeters is what Environment Canada is warning of. And that'll be a cumulative starting today, but continuing overnight and through tomorrow. Here a little bit further south, 2 to 10 centimeters of snow, really varying numbers. It's always tough to see how impactful this system will be, but you can expect that it will continue overnight and through tomorrow. And eventually we'll get a warm up on the other side of that. Where we can go for a warm up right now is on over to Tandy Vera. Let's check in and see where she's at and how tropical she's feeling. Hi, Tandy.
Hi, Terry. I'm having the perfect spring escape here at the Leaf this morning. I'm joined this morning by Danny. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for coming on down to the Leaf. It's so beautiful today.
It absolutely is. I love this new display. Can you chat a little bit about it?
Absolutely. So it just opened a little while ago. It's the Kaleidoscope of Spring, and we have our beautiful garden kaleidoscope here that people can interact with. And so we wanted to just have fun with the brightness and the beauty of spring. And so as you walk around, there's so many beautiful daffodils, hyacinths, and tulips, and you're like, huh. It's like a nice collective sigh of just feeling hopeful for spring, even though it feels a little chilly out today. And we also have beautiful sun catchers that are catching the light as it comes in through the leaf, and it's just a really nice welcomed reprieve from the winter and coming into a new season of birth, rebirth. And what's really cool too is we're going to talk about the science of how plants use color and light to help them survive and thrive and reproduce in nature.
That's amazing, and it's also very interactive. Why was that an important element to add to it?
We want everybody to have such a unique experience here at the Leaf, and it's very special that we have this here in Winnipeg. And so having interactive elements like this garden kaleidoscope adds that little extra excitement to it, where you can leave the Leaf being like, wow, I got to see this really cool kaleidoscope. I got to see these beautiful flowers. I got to smell. And, along with some of our programming, including gardener chats we have twice a day, and you get to come and learn about the plants. Those are the stories that you're going to take with you when if you want to come back again, or if you want to talk to family and friends. And that's what keeps the park so thriving and wonderful, and what makes your experience so great.
And another new feature is you have a new menu at the Gather restaurant. Can we chat a bit about that real quick? We're going to chat with the chef too.
Absolutely. So that was very exciting. A couple weeks ago, we announced that Gather Craft Kitchen and Bar has a brand new head chef, Mike Litcherson, and we have a brand new menu that came with it. And one thing we were wanting to let people know is the menu is actually brand new for lunch and dinner, but don't worry, the roasted carrots, they are still there. So, but everything else is new, and I can confirm it is absolutely delicious. And I'm so excited for everybody to come down to Gather to try the new menu.
Amazing. I'm excited to check it out this morning with the chef. And if you're looking for a good spring escape, come down to the Leaf. It's the perfect place.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones fell 159 points. The Nasdaq is 135 points lower. The S&P index dipped 27. The loonie is lower, set to 71.85 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng lost 177 points, and the Nikkei is slightly up 15 points. Good morning. It is 6:47. Police are searching for a suspect after a Good Samaritan was attacked and robbed while attending to a person experiencing a medical emergency. It happened shortly before 5 p.m. on March 19th in the 600 block of Main Street. A 45-year-old woman noticed a man had collapsed from a suspected overdose and was attempting to provide first aid and call 911. That's when police say she was physically assaulted by a man and robbed of her smartwatch and cell phone, which she was actively using to talk with a dispatcher. She received minor injuries and was assessed by paramedics at the scene. Investigators are now searching for this man, described as 5 feet 10 inches tall with short hair and tattoos on his neck and hands. He was wearing a black jacket and black jeans at the time. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Some major Canadian airlines are introducing fuel surcharges to help them deal with rising fuel costs amid the war in Iran.
What WestJet has done, instead of flying 5 or 6 frequencies a day between Calgary and Winnipeg or Calgary and Toronto, they're reducing it by 1 or 2 flights a day. So they're not abandoning any city pairs that they're flying. They're just reducing the frequencies. So that's an easier sell to the Canadian traveling public. They'll just dense up the airplanes, put more passengers on existing flights, but your trip will be adjusted because the flights you originally booked on have been canceled. So it's not so much abandoning, it's just reducing.
Air Canada has already adjusted fares to account for higher fuel costs and is considering cuts to some of its major routes. As of Wednesday, WestJet is adding a $60 fuel surcharge on all of its companion bookings due to rising fuel costs. The airline is also reducing flights throughout April and May. Air Transat has introduced fuel surcharges on flights to Europe and raised fares on peak travel dates. Monday marked the final day for advance voting in a high-stakes by-election across the 3 federal ridings. Mark Carney's Liberals are now just 2 seats away from a majority government. Voters in Terrebonne, Quebec are casting their ballots after the Supreme Court invalidated last spring's election result. The Liberal candidate won by a single vote. Voters are also heading to the polls in the Toronto ridings of Scarborough Southwest and University Rosedale, both Liberal strongholds. Election day for all 3 by-elections is April 13th. The federal Conservatives are rolling out a new series of ads starting today.
History will not judge us by the disruptions we faced, but by how we responded.
The ads will focus on issues like affordability and national sovereignty. It's part of an effort from leader Pierre Poilievre to strike a more measured tone with voters. The tagline of this new campaign is affordable, safe, strong here at home. After 4 games and 3 victories on the road, the Winnipeg Jets were back on home ice Monday night, hosting a visit from the Seattle Kraken. Seattle is up 1-0 in the first period with about 7.5 minutes remaining. Jonathan Taves gets this goal past netminder Philip Grubauer, and the score is tied at 1 apiece. That score holds until there's about 10 minutes left in the second. The Jets on the power play. Gabe Vilardi picks up the rebound, and the Jets go ahead by a goal. Both teams would score another goal each, and now we head to the third period. With 14 minutes left, Brad Lambert of the Jets make no mistake with this shot, adding another goal for Winnipeg. And with 4:45 left in the third, the Jets get an extra cushion with this goal by Kyle Connor. Vladislav Nemestikov gets this empty net goal to seal it. And we finished with the Jets on top. There's the empty net goal right here, as you can see. There it is. 6-2. Connor Hellebuck stopped 22 shots for the Winnipeg win. They next take the ice in St. Louis on Thursday. Game time is 7 p.m. Here's some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound median and middle lanes on Sherbrooke Street will be closed for sewer work between Portage and Ellis Avenue. Following the rush on Main Street, the southbound curb lane will be closed from Portage to Pioneer, and the eastbound median lane on Broadway will be closed from Edmonton to Donalds. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us.
And looking outside, it's -7. Not a bad place to be kicking things off. Sure, it's a little bit cooler than seasonal, but it's warmer than it was yesterday. South winds are 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 88%. And that sun is going to be up in about 2 minutes time, less than 1 minute time now. And we will have some sunshine to enjoy first thing this morning. You can see it's on the clearer side here through the southeast and further east of us. However, cloudy off to the west and snowier further west yet. All of that is going to be moving in for us, so it's just a matter of time before we see this sunshine disappearing. If basking in the sun this morning was part of your plan, you're going to need to get out early. Unless you're in parts of northern Manitoba, you might see a little more of that sunshine and less in the way of snow, and maybe even some nicer temperatures. Look at this, 2 degrees plus digits expected through some parts of the north. Sure, it's going to be a little bit cooler up in the Churchill area at -12, but most other places could climb slightly above the freezing mark today with a bit of sunshine to enjoy as well. Then we're starting to look through more of central, southern Manitoba, and this is where things are going to be looking and feeling a little more wintry today. Not only are we already seeing the clouds and that snow that's looming, it will be coming in with the winds increasing and really stacking up, especially in the Parklands Interlake areas where Environment Canada is warning of 15 to 30 centimeters of snow by the time it's all said and done tomorrow. So that'll be a cumulative over the next couple of days. Headed to the freezing mark here in Winnipeg today, but 8 degrees. +8 is now normal for this time of year. We have not seen temperatures like that. We've not even seen seasonal temperatures through most of March, I think almost all of March, and now into the start of April. But we will get to those seasonal temperatures by the end of the week. We just have to get through a first ugly couple of days, and then seasonal by the end of the week and above normal for the coming weekend.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now to check in on the Ace Burpee Show at 103.1 Virgin Radio. Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Rochelle?
I'm well. How are you guys doing today?
We are awesome. Today is a lot of things, including International Beaver Day. So this shirt is factually correct.
Look at that.
Beavers rule. Since I was little, my favorite animal in the world has been the beaver. And we have a giveaway. I published a book called The Beaver Book, and you can win a copy right now. In fact, the first 5 of you to text Beaver. When do you get to text that? Not a lot. Text Beaver to 99999. You will receive a copy of The Beaver Book. You text Beaver to 99999. Now, LTI has some staggering figures on the success of this Beaver Book. I'm going to do a slight outfit change for phase 2 of this segment.
Okay.
Here we go. So yeah, this book has been highly successful. I'm going to say over 17 copies sold.
19!
Okay? Province-wide. He's saying 19, but some of those are giveaways. So we have given away a few. But like I said, over 17. It's highly regarded. It's won many awards. It was on Ace Burpee's mom's fridge. That's a high regard. And if you want it, text Beaver 99999 if you want one.
It is also Green Shirt Day. You can become an organ and tissue donor. Sign up for life.ca. This is the only green shirt I had. Shout out to Jordy Douglas, Wayne Babbage, former Hartford Whalers.
Love that.
Sign up for life.ca. It is Green Shirt Day.
Love the classic look. All right, thanks you guys. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yes.
A Victoria woman's unexpected discovery of a tiny toy duck sparked a treasure hunt. It's a simple act of kindness. And as CTV's Adam Sawatsky shows you, it's now spreading smiles throughout the neighborhood.
Amelia Morrison's walk around the neighborhood began being ordinary.
Right along this little fence line.
Until she found something extraordinary.
I thought it was so sweet.
She also thought the little duck must be lost, so she left it to be found, and the next day discovered it gone.
So I thought, okay, well, maybe the owner came by and found it.
But then Amelia found another one and suspected that they were being placed there on purpose for kids to pick up.
But who took it? You? But you're not a kid.
I know. I was giving it to my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Not only did the mother give the little duck to her 8-year-old,
I thought it was really cool.
She invited Apollin to go searching for more.
We look up high, down low.
They looked everywhere they'd go.
And then my mom, she's like, stop, wait, look. I'm like, wait, what? What's happening?
Amelia had spotted what Apollin found, another little animal.
I thought it was amazing.
But who had hidden them was a mystery.
Actually, I'm the one that hides them around.
Christy Soph says that over the past year, she's either hidden or handed out
Thanks. You're very welcome. Have a great day.
more than 700 ducks.
The world's kind of a miserable place right now, so just want to make people's day better.
Instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything going wrong, Christy decided to get out and try to do something right.
Spreading kindness to people. It's very nice. Just spread a little bit of joy. That's what I call my ducks. They're my little bit of joy.
Joy that's taken flight and inspired Apollin to keep just one of her animals and pay the rest forward.
I like sharing. It just makes me feel happy.
And whether you're trying to make your little sister smile or striving to spread joy to complete strangers, once you start, you just might find you take to it like a duck to water.
Be nice to one another. Understand one another. And remember, the world is a better place with you in it.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
It's Tuesday, April 7th. Today, wrongfully accused why a Winnipeg couple was detained while traveling to Germany. Plus, have your say why the feds are looking for feedback on LED headlights. And a curling shakeup. Which team is Val Sweeting now calling home? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, the Artemis 2 mission is already coming to the end of its mission. They're already heading back home. The 4 astronauts, one, of course, Canadian Jeremy Hansen. So we're going to speak with planetarium astronomer Scott Young to find out a little bit more about how the mission went, what actually happened when they did get to the far side of the moon, and some of the amazing records that were broken as well. So we're going to get details on that and when they're expected to return. But the weather. Ugh. I know. Ugh. I was thinking finally spring is here. We had Easter.
Wasn't the weekend beautiful?
I
know. Some plus-digit temperatures. I was even seeing people out finding spots on patios on Saturday. And then, of course, it got a little bit windy Sunday. Yesterday wasn't so pleasant. Oh, and here I am complaining about the weather, and look at that. It looks gorgeous, doesn't it? -7 is where that temperature sits. Feels like -13. We've got a bit of a breeze, but it's light right now out of the south at 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 88%. You know, sometimes Mother Nature just has to give me a little bit of a reminder. I'm busy complaining, and then we look at something as beautiful as that. Absolutely gorgeous start to the morning. If you don't mind, slightly below seasonal temperatures, because sure, it is a little bit cool. And it's about to get a little bit blustery, perhaps, with all what's about to move in, and that will be some snow and perhaps very strong winds kicking that snow at us sideways. There you can see the clouds beginning to move in, certainly through the southwestern part of the province, west central Manitoba as well, and there's the snow that's going to come along with it. It's an Alberta clipper, and we know those can pack a bit of a punch. Well, Environment Canada is saying that the the hardest hit areas are likely to be kind of through the Parklands Interlake area. 15 to 30 centimeters is what they're warning up. Now, it just begins later today, but then it kind of sticks around. And really, the worst of it will be through that more central stretch, areas just north of the Trans-Canada Highway. Doesn't mean there won't be places seeing some of that activity south of the Trans-Canada Highway, but it is more likely that the hardest hit areas will be just north of that. So once it starts later this afternoon, it continues through Wednesday, eventually tapering off and eventually warming up again. We've got some really nice temperatures on the other side of this system. For today, tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit soggy, windy, wet at times with the snow and perhaps some showers as it continues to warm up. 8 degrees, that is a normal daytime high. We haven't even reached what is normal for this time of year for I feel like it's been weeks now. But we'll get to seasonal temperatures and maybe push beyond with some double digits waiting for us this weekend. And here's something that you can do on a maybe indoor day. Bake some cupcakes, because cupcakes are the best. Thanks to Bryn, 8 years old, and we'd love to see more of your art. So keep the pictures coming, please. You can submit them now through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. When you submit your art online through our website, you're also entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle Paint Your Own Pottery. Make memories that last forever.
When you check your bags and then board a plane, you expect it will be smooth sailing from there. But that's not what happened to a German citizen visiting his Winnipeg girlfriend. He was yanked out of line at his connecting gate in Toronto and wrongfully arrested for exporting more than 30 kilograms of cannabis. And as CTV's Harrison Shin shows you, why he was singled out for the mistaken arrest might surprise you.
A trip to visit family in Germany went sideways for Jan Baumann. He and his partner Charlene Ranadira were flying out of Winnipeg Airport on February 19th. When they lined up at their connection gate in Toronto, Canadian Border Services officials were checking IDs. Ranadira boarded, but
they just immediately handcuffed me and pulled me against the wall, and I didn't know what happened. I'd never had this before, and got rid of all my things.
Ranadira turned around when a flight attendant told her what happened. Both were detained, and Baumann was accused of exporting 33 kilograms of cannabis to Germany.
I just kind of started laughing, and I was like, you found, and I asked him, I was like, you found cannabis in Jan's backpack.
An RCMP officer took over about 6 hours later. That's when Ranadira says she showed her doorbell cam footage from that day, showing which bags they left Winnipeg with. Baumann sent this backpack as checked baggage with Air Canada, but there was another piece of luggage that he wasn't aware of.
They explained me, of course, during the discussions that somebody cut my bag tag and put it to another luggage piece, like a big suitcase.
When we got to Frankfurt, we looked at Jan's bag tag, and this was his bag tag.
In a media release, RCMP said they were called to help border officials on that day, and on March 12th, arrested 32-year-old Atasha Wethley for the incident. According to police, Wethley was an Air Canada employee working in the airport's baggage room. Ranadira says if it wasn't for the doorbell video, it could have ended badly.
We did everything by the book. No, like, our bags were never left unattended. We put them straight onto the belt. Everything was good, and then, oh, this whole 12-hour nightmare happened.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Air Canada employee accused in this case was released with conditions. None of the charges has been tested in court. Baumann says on their trip back to Winnipeg, he was told by a border official that the couple is now flagged in the system for a closer look. They're frequent flyers, and he fears they will face more scrutiny. You have about 2 more weeks to let the federal government know what you think of LED headlights. Transport Canada launched the survey after getting complaints from drivers who say modern headlights are too bright and create too much glare. It comes after the City of Vancouver asked the federal government to intervene, saying the blinding glare needs to be regulated. The 15-minute survey is on the Government of Canada's website. There are signs more drivers are showing interest in electric vehicles.
Now, I've spoken to some dealers, and some of them said, you know, EV sales have gone up 30%, but for others, it's gone up 50 or 100%.
A new report from rates.ca says requests for EV insurance quotes jumped 40% last month compared to a year ago. The head of Electric Mobility Canada points to several factors behind the rise in interest. Gas prices have surged due to conflict in the Middle East. Ottawa has also brought back federal rebates. Consumers are also looking ahead to lower cost China-made EVs reaching the Canadian market. Imagine getting an email from space. Canadian Jeremy Hansen sent well wishes back home to his family.
We emailed him, it was the 4th, and then he replied yesterday. So we were just so excited that we actually got an email from outer space. Basically, he just said, "I'm having a great time," and then "love you, Mom and Dad."
Nancy and Gary Hansen can now claim an out-of-this-world record of correspondence, with no son or daughter ever writing home from that far away. Hansen's parents spent Easter Monday in Fort Myers, Florida, watching coverage of Artemis 2 mission as it completed its record-breaking lunar flyby. They have been invited to Mission Control in Houston to watch the splashdown. Beaming with pride, Jeremy's parents say they believe this mission will inspire the next generation of scientists. Double-digit temperatures are on the way, and the warmer weather is adding to the spring melt. This is the Red River by the Forks. Open water is visible as the ice breaks up, forming piles along the shoreline. What appears to be a melting snow structure also rises among the ice. The city warns to use caution around rivers and retention ponds and stay off the ice. Carrie Anerson's longtime third has found a new team after parting ways with the Gimli-based squad last month. Val Sweeting is joining BC's Kayla McMillan as the new third the team announced over the weekend. In a post on social media, the team says Val brings a level of elite experience that is truly second to none. Sweeting won 5 Scotties Tournament of Hearts with Anerson's rink, including this year's, and finished with a silver medal at this year's World Women's Curling Championship. McMillan's rink is currently ranked 7th in Canada. Here's a look at what's happening now at Confusion Corner. Looks like things are pretty smooth. We do have a traffic note to tell you about, though. There are traffic signals flashing red after an earlier collision on Portage and Westwood Drive. Signals pole is laying in the westbound left turn lane, so please use caution and treat that as an all-way stop. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please send us a text.
Crude oil futures hovering around $111 a barrel. Stock futures edging up, reversing earlier falls as investors remain on edge ahead of Donald Trump's Tuesday night deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump threatened to take out Iran in one night if a deal wasn't made before the deadline. However, he also said Iran was an active, willing participant in wanting to reach a deal. Home sales in the Greater Toronto Area rose on a year-over-year basis in March for the first time in 6 months, while average selling prices moved lower, though. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says 5,000 homes changed hands in March, up 1.7% from the same month last year, marking the first increase since last September. Sales also increased 1.4% on a seasonally adjusted basis from February. And billionaire activist Bill Ackman has proposed a complicated deal for the Universal Music Group, the world's largest music company, which houses the likes of Taylor Swift, Drake, and Sabrina Carpenter. It would combine UMG with a U.S.-based acquisition vehicle that Ackman said would value the record label at $100 billion Canadian, a premium of 78% to the company's closing share price. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go now to Tandy Vera, who's live at the Leaf this morning. It's such a beautiful place to start the day, Tandy. You must be loving this.
Hey Rochelle, I am having the best time. It is beautiful in here, and not only beautiful, it smells amazing. The smell of the flowers is just it just brings me to the spring vibe, springtime, which I know it doesn't look like it is outside. So if you're looking for something to do to get away from the look and feel of the outside and the cold, then come down to the Leaf. They have so many programs to offer for toddlers to adults. I mean, tomorrow they have adult night at the Leaf. On Tuesdays they have Tuesday toddler days as well, free with admission, pardon me. So if you're looking for something to do just to get an escape during that springtime vibe, this is the place to be. And I'm having the best time. It's beautiful. It's heavenly. What more could I ask for this morning?
I guess so. Okay, thank you, Tandy. All those flowers, it makes me want spring even more, Terry.
I know, I'm with you on that. How beautiful it looks, and we can just imagine how good it feels. And perhaps, yes, as Tandy said, the perfect place to escape what Mother Nature is dishing up, and that's an Alberta clipper, and we know how ugly those can be. And pretty much through central and southern Manitoba, things could look and feel pretty nasty over the next couple of days. It's not too bad right now. I mean, it's definitely crisp out here this morning. We are waking up to below seasonal temperatures, but also fairly clear conditions. -7 is where we are right now, with a bit of a breeze making it feel like -13. That wind it's only 15 kilometers per hour out of the south, but it is likely to get a lot stronger this afternoon. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 90%, and we're already seeing the heavier clouds through southwestern Manitoba and west central Manitoba, and just beginning to see the flurries reaching that western border. Well, all of that is going to be blanketing much of central and southern Manitoba, with Environment Canada warning of 15 to 30 centimeters in the Parklands Interlake area, where it is likely to hit the hardest. Here further south of the Trans-Canada, 2 to 10 centimeters, kind of tough to tell, but it will be beginning this afternoon, continuing overnight, still throughout Wednesday, maybe more of a rain-snow mix on Wednesday, as these temperatures are expected to continue to rise over the next couple of days. Today we'll likely get to the freezing mark, a couple degrees above tomorrow, but it'll take until the end of the week till we're reaching those seasonal temps.
Weather is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
It's time now for a question of the day. Today is National No Housework Day. So we want to know, what's your least favorite household chore? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more. Whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pal, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with more news, weather, and traffic. Stay with us. Good morning. Veteran Winnipeg broadcaster Scott Oake has announced he's retiring at the end of this NHL season. Oake made the announcement over the weekend, saying he's leaving on his own terms after 50-plus years in the business. He's been a longtime staple on Hockey Night in Canada and has covered the Olympics, Commonwealth Games, CFL football, and more, earning him a Gemini Award for excellence in broadcasting. Oake, along with his late wife Anne, also founded the Bruce Oake Recovery Center in memory of their son, who died of a drug overdose in 2011, paving the way for hundreds of men to get on the road to recovery. Oake is a member of the Order of Canada, the Order of Manitoba, and the Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame. A new study in the U.S. reveals reputable health groups in the U.S. are unintentionally funding medical misinformation. Researchers at Yale University found health and government organizations in America accounted for more than 10% of ad revenue on websites promoting misinformation. Between 2021 and 2024, millions of dollars in ad spending landed on unreliable sites, often inadvertently. Groups say this is because automated programs can place credible ads next to harmful content. The study warns that these ad placements can legitimize false claims and diminish public trust in government health agencies. Canada's Matt Dunstone had to settle for silver over the weekend as the Swedish team claimed yet another men's World Curling Championship.
Just needs to set him up with the Dunstone fashion. Well run it back, yellow onto red. There's your 2 points. Canada, it's game on.
But it wasn't for lack of effort. Dunstone made a few impressive shots, which helped keep his team in contention right to the end. However, he missed an attempted angle raise for 2 in the 10th end, handing the Swedes a 9-6 victory.
Just
couldn't get much going with a team that's making every shot. And you know, they showed today why they're 8-time world champions. And Nick was the exact matchup you know, I was hoping for, given, you know, he's got the most world titles, he's the king of this event, and you know, just wasn't meant to be for us today. They were just way too strong.
The game brought an end to Dunstone's 10-game win streak at the event, while Sweden's Skip extended his record for world titles to 8. Dunstone also promised to reveal in a few days who would replace retiring veteran second E.J. Harnden. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along St. Mary's Road. It looks like things are moving well in this part of the city. If you have any traffic tips to share with us, please send us a text. In entertainment, we now know the when for the Spaceballs sequel.
Spaceballs, the movie.
Princess Vespa spaceship within range, sir. Good.
The long-awaited follow-up to the Mel Brooks Star Wars parody is due in theaters April 23rd, 2027. That's 2 months shy of the original comedy's 40th anniversary. Bill Pullman, Rick Moranis, Daphne Zuniga, and Brooks, who's now 99 years old, return to join a bevy of new cast members for the sequel, which still does not have an official title. Now to golf fans. Full swing season 4 is almost here.
How would you describe this season in one word?
I think.
I would describe the 2025 golf season as electric.
The 4th season looks back at all the storylines from a wild 2025 golf season. The biggest moment was Rory McIlroy's win at the Masters, completing the career Grand Slam. There's also the Ryder Cup, where the U.S. lost on home soil. All this drama and more starts streaming April 17th. And the pre-sale for tickets to Celine Dion's upcoming shows in Paris have started. Fans who have been selected for the pre-sale should receive an email confirmation. Those who missed out will be on the wait list. 9 million people signed up for 450,000 available tickets. So good luck. The first of 10 comeback shows start on September 12th. Coming up on your primetime lineup today, catch Will Trent at 7. High Potential is on at 8. RJ Decker starts at 9. And Best Medicine wraps things up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV. Get ready to celebrate your child's next birthday with a Your Morning Winnipeg contest. This week, we're giving away a kid's birthday party valued at $300 from Crockadoodle on Keniston location. You can invite up to 8 guests to party and paint your own pottery. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword happy. Good luck.
All right. Oh, look at that. How can you not be happy when staring at that gorgeous sun rising over the city? We're looking through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Yeah, it does look beautiful out there. It's not going to last. We're going to see that sunshine disappearing and snow taking its place. And this morning, even with the sunshine, though, it's still a little bit below seasonal, with -4 being a normal low temperature. Most of us are a degree or 3 below that. Winnipeg coming in at -7, -6 over in Brandon and in the Morden Winkler area, one of the warmer places. Portage, -5 for you. And then we're seeing those minus double digits and mid-minus teens through the more central part of the province. Low -20s as we're pushing even further up into the north. But northern Manitoba could be in for beautiful conditions today with a little bit of sunshine and perhaps even plus-digit temperatures. And this morning, though, wind chill values are still keeping you in those low to high -20s up in the Churchill area. Now, the clear conditions will be enjoyed through much of northern Manitoba, so expect to be basking in sunshine as the mercury rises. It's here through central and southern Manitoba, where the heavier clouds are already moving in, and there you can see the snow just beginning to cross that border. So flurries expected here in the southeast later on into the afternoon. Then it'll continue overnight and throughout tomorrow as well. By the time kids are coming home from school today, -1 hour, where we'll end up with 0 our expected high for today. 8 degrees normal for this time of year, but the next couple of days will remain below that, with maybe a rain snow mix as it warms up slightly for tomorrow, but strong winds increasing today and that snow beginning next couple of days a little bit blustery. It's not till the end of the week when we're reaching seasonal temperatures, or for the weekend slightly above. Should be looking beautiful by then. And speaking of beautiful, this little billy goat right up there on the top of the bale, king of the castle. This is Rudy the billy goat. out with that bird's eye view or goat's eye view. Thanks to Josh for sharing the photo, and keep the pictures coming, please, to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
April 7th, 1795. The metric system was officially adopted by the French government. Gabriel Mouton, vicar of a church in Lyon, is considered the father of the decimal system of measurement. Over the years, his work was revised, improved, and extended by several French scientists. People initially resisted the change, though it eventually became a global standard. April 7th, 2019. Canadians marked the first Green Shirt Day to promote organ donation on the anniversary of the death of Humboldt Broncos player Logan Boulet. He was one of the 16 people killed in the team's bus crash. News that 6 people benefited from his organs sparked what became known as the Logan Boulet effect, an upsurge in blood donations and in people signing on to organ donation programs. April 7th, 2020. Canada's Chief Medical Officer clarified how wearing non-surgical face masks could protect others from contracting COVID-19. Dr. Teresa Tam said that while wearing face coverings could prevent an asymptomatic person from spreading the virus unknowingly, not everyone should be wearing them. Maple syrup season is off to a sluggish start with some smaller producers behind schedule. Here's CTV's Maria Saru on what's slowing the flow of sweet tradition and what it could mean for supply.
Inside the Hazel Grove Sugar Shack, owner Greg Beamish opens a tap to a thin amber trickle. The evaporator is quiet. No sap coming in means no boil today. He says so far this is his worst season since starting this small operation more than a decade ago.
I'm noticeably further behind than I normally am. It'll be the first year in 12 years I have such little sap.
By now he should have about 10,000 liters of sap boiled off. Instead he's at under 3,500, putting production at about 1/3 of where it would usually be.
If I stay where I'm at, yeah, it'll be a poor year. It'll hurt my pocketbook in the long run.
Maple sap runs best when nights freeze and days thaw. But this spring has stayed too cold in some parts of the country, stifling the flow. In Quebec, producers recently reported running about 30% behind last year's pace. And it's what makers across the Maritimes are dealing with too, says the New Brunswick Maple Syrup Association.
If you did plan some investment to change equipment or whatever, you will need to wait another year.
For now, Beamish closes the lid and waits on a warmer stretch. There's still time for the season to turn, and he's hopeful, but each passing day leaves less room to catch up.
If production doesn't ramp up by the end of April, Beamish says he could run out of maple syrup to sell before Christmas. Maria Saru, CTV News, Rustico, Prince Edward Island.
Coming up, we're live at the Leaf with Tandy Vera this morning. She's going to tell us about their exhibit. It's called Kaleidoscope of Spring. Stay with us for more. Let's go back now to Tandy Vera, who's live at the Leaf. It's such a warm place to be this morning. Hello.
Hi, Rochelle, and yeah, it's such a warm and heavenly place to be this morning. I am joined by Rhonda. Thank you for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Now, colors play such an important factor in plants, and not only are they bright and beautiful to look at, but it's also very practical and purposeful. Can you chat a little bit more about that?
For sure. So I think most people are very familiar with the green of plants, the green of their leaves, sometimes even their bark. And that actually is what keeps them alive. The chlorophyll in them allows them to photosynthesize, and that's how they get their energy. But a lot of people don't realize that the color that they see in the flowers, that's actually, it's a particular reason for it as well. And that's for everything from attracting pollinators to attracting birds. Even some of them use it to actually avoid certain pests. So it's all very scientific, the way that plants actually have chosen their colors, right down to some of them actually are particularly shown in ultraviolet light, so that insects that can only see ultraviolet are still attracted to them.
Wow, that's beautiful. So they're pretty and purposeful.
Exactly.
And light also plays such an important factor. Can you chat more about that as well?
Sure. So, well, one of the things that we've focused on here is actually how light plays to humans. But light is very important to the plants as well. Again, without light, they can't photosynthesize. It's like us being deprived air where we can't breathe. They need that to be able to create energy, to be able to produce their blooms. And the lovely thing is they give that back to us as well with the beauty that they provide. So yeah, light is very important. One of the things that we've done actually here in this particular display is we focused on the beauty of the flowers, but we also, you get a very different experience from day to evening. So during the day you see the flowers in all their colors, but in the evening we've added some special light effects. So in the evening you actually get kind of a different, more entertaining side of the light.
Wow, that's so cool and so beautiful. And really quickly, we have just little time. Can you tell us about the Kaleidoscope of Spring?
Sure. So we have this beautiful sculpture that actually has 3 different kaleidoscopes that face inwards towards some beautiful plants. And people can come and look through the kaleidoscope, and the plants actually make that play of color and light that you would see through a kaleidoscope.
That's so cool. You guys got to check it out.
Oh, that all looked so pretty out there, so colorful, lovely, and spring-like, which is going to be about the opposite of what we can expect today. While it's looking beautiful this morning, it's going to be looking wintry-like this afternoon. -7 right now, -13 is what it feels like with that wind factored in. The breeze at the moment is out of the south, 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, humidity at 90%, and yes, still some sunshine to enjoy. The way the light is bouncing off the buildings in the downtown area is looking quite gorgeous. Clear here through the southeast, but you can see already the clouds are moving in, and with the clouds comes the snow. And more of that is expected to blanket all through central and southern Manitoba. Environment Canada has even issued snowfall warnings through parts of central Manitoba, 15 to 30 centimeters through the Parklands Interlake area. That's where it's likely to get the biggest walloping of the snow that's coming. We're probably in for a couple of centimeters, and in fact, a lot of that will melt on contact. We're headed to the freezing mark today. This is still well below seasonal. We're going to notice those winds increasing out of the south, at times gusting to 60 kilometers per hour, so that wind will be nasty. The snow continues overnight, but we're only falling a degree below the freezing mark. A few degrees above tomorrow, we could be seeing more of a rain-snow mix. The wind shifting out of the northwest will be tapering off, and from there, huge improvements as we're looking through the latter part of the week. We could finally reach seasonal temperatures, 8 degrees by Friday, and with that sunshine continuing into the weekend, a little bit more of a warm-up takes us up into the double digits.
Police are searching for a suspect after a Good Samaritan was attacked and robbed while tending to a person experiencing a medical emergency. It happened shortly before 5 p.m. on March 19th in the 600 block of Main Street. A 45-year-old woman noticed a man had collapsed from a suspected overdose and was attempting to provide first aid and call 911. That's when police say she was physically assaulted by a man and robbed of her smartwatch and cell phone, which she was actively using to talk with a dispatcher. She received minor injuries and was assessed by paramedics at the scene. Investigators are now searching for this man, described as 5 feet 10 inches tall, with short hair and tattoos on his neck and hands. He was wearing a black jacket and black jeans at the time. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. The retail landscape in Portage la Prairie is set for some changes. A local group has now purchased that city's vacant mall, which closed at the end of 2024.
There was lots of stores. The Safeway was there, and just lots of different stores, clothing stores, and there was a food court, and it was kind of a meeting place in Portage.
Barry Wright was in high school when the mall opened in Portage la Prairie in 1979, but over the years, stores started closing or pulling out of the mall, including anchor tenants Safeway and Walmart, which opened originally as a Woolco. In December 2024, the mall closed for good, leaving just Rona as the lone business still open that's physically connected to the mall. The owners of that Rona are part of a local group that has purchased the mall, prompting some excitement about the site's future.
We're just thrilled that local ownership has purchased it. As a council, it's been on our sort of radar and agenda in our economic development office.
Mayor Sherilyn Knox is confident this can be a successful development. She says a study is currently underway to determine what Portage is missing, including retail. But it's unclear what the owners have planned for the complex. Still, some retail experts say malls are making a comeback. There are calls for increased safety measures after a recent stabbing inside an Edmonton emergency room.
That was a very scary, real, and potentially lethal situation for everyone within 20 feet of that knife.
Emergency room doctor Warren Thirsk wants the Alberta government to put rules in place to make hospitals safer. The stabbing happened at the Royal Alexander Hospital's ER last week. It left one man with serious injuries. Dr. Thirsk wants the province to make hospitals no weapon zones and empower officers to confiscate them. Alberta's Minister of Hospital and Surgical Health Services, Matt Jones, has said the province would accelerate the implementation of weapons screening at the Central Edmonton Hospital, increasing protection for staff and patients. We are following developing news from Istanbul, where there was a shooting incident near the Israeli consulate. Istanbul's governor says there were 3 attackers. All of them are said to have been killed. 2 police officers were also hurt. Their injuries are reportedly minor. There are no Israeli diplomats stationed in Istanbul right now, but the building where the consulate is located is in a busy area in the city. We'll have more on this story as it develops throughout the morning. It has been quite a journey from fertilizer to the dinner plate. For generations, Irish seaweed has been a common ingredient in fertilizer, but now it has taken a star turn in the culinary world. The seaweed packs quite a flavor punch. Chefs use it to infuse oils or broth with taste. The seaweed is also versatile as an ingredient. It can be used fresh, dried, or rehydrated. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound median and middle lanes on Sherbrooke Street will be closed for sewer work between Portage and Ellis Avenue. Following the rush on Main Street, the southbound curb lane will be closed from Portage to Pioneer, and the eastbound median lane on Broadway will be closed from Edmonton to Donald. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text. Here's a look now at your gas prices. They continue to rise. The Canadian average stands at $1.81. The provincial average is $1.70. In Winnipeg, the average is the same, and the lowest price in the city is $1.57. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
All right, it's -7 outside this morning. It feels a little colder than that, though. Slightest bit of a breeze, and all of a sudden that -7 feels like -13. The sun is shining, the pressure falling, the humidity at 90%, but the sun is only shining for a few more hours. Snow will be moving in for us later on this afternoon. Here on the satellite image, you can see the clouds are already just starting to move in. Heavier through the southwest, and already across that border you can see the flurries that are coming along with it. This Alberta clipper could pack a serious punch through central Manitoba and even a little bit of southern Manitoba. But for northern Manitoba, you've actually got nothing to worry about. It's going to be a beautiful day for you with some sunshine and temperatures that could be pushing above the freezing mark. Not in the Churchill area. You can expect maybe a bit of a mixed day with some precipitation, -12 as your high, but nearly everybody else has the possibility of pushing beyond freezing into the plus digits with a little bit of sunshine the further that you go into the northern part of the province. It's central Manitoba that could be the hardest hit by this system that's going to be passing through. And Environment Canada is warning of 15 to 30 centimeters. That'll be accumulative, so starting today, tapering off sometime tomorrow. So over the next couple of days, that's what you can expect to see through that more central stretch, the Parklands, Interlake area, further into the south, 2 to 10 centimeters. It could be really tough to tell how much snow or rain we're going to be seeing, because we will notice these temperatures warming up. Not too much today. We'll probably top out at about the freezing mark. Oh, and by the way, the winds will also be getting very strong and gusty throughout the day today. Further to the east, you can expect to enjoy the sunshine a little bit longer, and maybe even some plus-digit temperatures to go along with that. We could get back to plus-digit temperatures for tomorrow, but that precipitation will likely continue. From there, slow, steady warm-up. Seasonal temperatures expected by Friday, and an even bigger warm-up once we're looking ahead to the coming weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Tandy Vera, who's live at the Leaf this morning. There's lots of really great programming happening there this spring, really for everyone in the family. Good morning.
Yeah, hey Rochelle, we're talking all things spring and spring programming. I'm joined now by Bonnie. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Now, there's so many programs for people this spring, but there's even an upcoming workshop this weekend. Can we chat more about that?
I'm very excited about this one because this is a Métis beater who's a former colleague of mine who's doing a chickadee workshop. So it's a beaded chickadee pin. It's very beautiful, and we're very excited to have her. She's done a series of workshops for us, but this is a real highlight, having the little beaded chickadee. Really cute.
It's amazing. And if people aren't able to come to that one on the weekend, there's still more workshops upcoming, including a medicinal plants one and fungi. Can you explain more about that one?
Yeah, so it's Chad Cornell, who has his own, he teaches a number of courses online. He's a real medicinal plant and healthy plant enthusiast, and he's a master herbalist. So he's going to be teaching a workshop for us on fascinating fungi and medicinal plants. So that's a terrific one to look forward to on the workshop listings as well.
And another one on the list is the veggie workshop.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I'm teaching that one, and we get a variety of miniature vegetables, like really cute little pumpkins and squashes, and you get miniature peppers and things like that. And we have a nice container. The kids paint their own signs to put into their workshop container. So it's a really fun workshop too, because they get to attend it, and it's a highlight of the spring for me teaching that workshop.
Yeah, that's so cool. And from your experience with people coming to your workshop, how do people find it afterwards? How do you want people to feel as well?
Yeah, like just, you hope that it's a positive experience for them. There's a variety of workshops for all demographics. We have for children's workshops, we have adult workshops as well, and you can learn a variety of new skills, which is lovely here at the Leaf in a nice setting, right?
Yeah. And a fun feature you have is also Toddlers Tuesdays.
Yeah, coming up today, and that's a big hit. It's a terrific facilitator. She does a lot of movement activities with the kids too, so that will be on today. It's usually like lots of folks gathering around. It takes place in the Mediterranean biome, and so it's a great event for young ones and their caregivers.
So if you're looking for something to do this spring, then come on down to the Leaf.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thanks.
The Harlem Globetrotters are celebrating their 100th anniversary. Here's ABC News' Alex Stone.
The Harlem Globetrotters are turning 100, from the introduction of three-pointers to the signing of the first woman playing on an all-male team. The Harlem Globetrotters have been at the center of it all, influencing the sport we know and love today since their beginning.
I like to tell people when they think about pretty much everything they see in the world of sport, basketball in particular, all those roots go back to the Harlem Globetrotters. The way ball handling you see out of Caitlin Clark's and Steph Curry's and others, right? The game wasn't played that way before the Harlem Globetrotters.
The iconic sports entertainment team was founded in Chicago in 1926, a team's name crafted to spotlight its black athletes. Harlem signaling cultural pride, and Globetrotters hinting at a worldly reputation long before they ever left the Midwest, setting dozens of world records along the way with their gravity-defying dunks and spectacular ball skills. With diversity and inclusion in mind, fans see parts of themselves on the court at Harlem Globetrotter games.
People from all walks of life, from every age, from every demographic, they rally around what the Globetrotters represents, and that's part of the inclusivity that they see on the court.
To celebrate their centennial year, the Trotters are on a worldwide 100-year tour and will be launching their brand new video game, teaming up with Acclaim Games and their advisor, WWE Wrestler Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett.
I'm a basketball guy, but more than anything, I'm a sports entertainer. When it's turned into a video game, for me personally, it checks every box.
The release of their new arcade-style game marks new beginnings for the Harlem Globetrotters in attracting newer and younger audiences.
That is going to be very exciting for the obviously months and even years to come, that we're just getting started with this franchise.
Social media also playing a big role in growing the fan base.
That's a big point of distinction between the stars of the past and the stars of today is the access that the audience has. That new audience, that next generation audience, that's the one that's going to keep us around for another 100 years.
Alex Stone, ABC News.
Let's see, celebrating a milestone today. Happy birthday, Nevada, also known as Bubs, with love from your family. Happy 10th birthday, Hayden. Love Mommy, Mama, and the rest of the family. Happy 8th birthday, Emmett. Love Mom, Dad, and Owen. Happy 23rd birthday, Angel. Lots of love from Mom, Wilson, James, Shannon, Sierra, your cuckoos, and papas. And happiest 5th birthday to Kingsley, also known as Nugget. Love from Mom, Dad, and the rest of the fam jam. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations. Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
All right, 0 degrees is where we're headed today with our anticipated high, which is well off of seasonal. Normals this time of year would be 8 degrees. Now, we're pretty much on par with where we were last year, just below the freezing mark, but all the way back in 1900, 24 degrees. Here's the good news about today. That sun rose a couple minutes earlier. It's been up for a while now, 6:53, setting at about 8:09, but it's only going to be a few more hours that we're actually going to enjoy the sunshine, because that'll be disappearing into the afternoon as the heavier clouds are expected to build. Right now it's -7, with feels like -13 when you're factoring in that 15K wind out of the south. The pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 90%. And yes, that sunshine will be disappearing. Enjoying it still for now, but I'm already starting to begin to see a few of the clouds moving in, and with the clouds will come the snow, perhaps coming at us sideways, because the winds right now are light, but that'll change into the afternoon. Expect those winds to be gusting to about 60 kilometers per hour. And while we are expecting some snow here through the most southern part of the province, the hardest hit area is likely to be just north of the Trans-Canada Highway through the Parklands Interlake area. Environment Canada is warning 15 to 30 centimeters beginning today, but that'll be accumulative totals throughout overnight and tomorrow as well. But still, it's going to look like winter all over again. Unless you're in parts of northern Manitoba, enjoy the sunshine and maybe even some plus-digit temperatures.
Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen and his Artemis 2 crewmates have completed their record-breaking trip around the moon. Monday's historic lunar journey surpassed Apollo 13's distant record. Joining us now with more is the Manitoba Museum's planetarium astronomer, Scott Young. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, it's hard to believe that it's already at the end of their mission. 10 days goes quick in space, doesn't it?
Yeah, they don't get back till Friday, but the big milestone was yesterday afternoon and evening when they looped around the moon and got all those close-up pictures, and you could just hear the excitement in all their voices. You know, they're all serious, talking about the mission and blah blah blah, and very calm and collected. And then the windows open up and they're just yelling, "Wow, look at that!" You know, still people.
So there was a point though that they actually were offline for 40 minutes because they had reached the dark side of the moon, right?
Yeah, as you go around the moon gets in the way and blocks the radio signals, and so we can't talk to them, they can't talk to us. They are literally isolated, cut off from everyone in the universe. And all you can do is sit there with your crewmates. I mean, they were still looking at the moon and taking pictures until they got to the totally dark side. But it must have been very emotional to realize how distant you are from everything, and then to come around and see the Earth again. You could hear it in Jeremy's voice when he was like, "Oh, Earth, good to see you."
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so they broke records. Tell us what records they broke and why it's significant.
Well, the Apollo 13 spacecraft back in the 70s, when it had its Houston, we have a problem accident, instead of landing on the moon, it looped all the way around kind of like this and just came back. So that made it out to about 400,000 kilometers away from the Earth, which was the distance record for humans. Artemis 2 made it to 406,000 kilometers. So it's the farthest that humans have ever been from the planet Earth. But again, as Jeremy Hansen was saying, I hope it's a record that doesn't last long. I hope we go farther and faster soon, rather than waiting another 50 years to break the record.
Right, so it's quite significant as well, because they got to see things that nobody's ever seen before.
That's right. There's parts of the moon that even during the Apollo missions, because of the way the lighting was or things like that, that weren't visible. And so they were able to see areas that no human eyes have ever seen, but also they were there with, you know, modern digital cameras. And we didn't get those pictures back live. We just sort of got the low-res video. But when those high-resolution images with the good cameras come back, I think they're going to be mind-blowing, beautiful pictures. I think each one's going to be a poster on my wall, because it's just going to be an endless deluge of amazing pictures.
That we've never seen before, which
That's
is
right.
just fascinating,
Yeah.
including some craters we've never seen, brand new craters on the other side of the moon.
Yeah, there are a couple of fresh craters. They named, they proposed a name of one for their spacecraft integrity, and they also proposed one for Reed Wiseman, the commander. His wife passed away of cancer a few years ago, and her name was Carol, so they proposed naming it Carol. And it's one that's right on the near side, far side boundary, so you can just barely see it from Earth, but it's kind of a very representative crater of, you know, he can go out and look at the moon in binoculars and see it.
And it's bright apparently too, that crater. So
very fresh and easy to spot, yeah.
Okay, what's the most exciting thing about all this for you?
Oh man, just the fact that we got to go along live. Like, this wasn't something where you could only see a little bit of, you know, Walter Cronkite doing an interview and that's it. It was, you know, the space program is live and in person now, and we all got that fifth seat to ride along with the cameras and stuff like that. And it's just been amazing to participate. I felt like I went around the moon because Jeremy from Canada went around the moon, and he went for all of us. So.
You're seeing a huge influx of interest from people who never really expressed interest in space exploration before.
Yeah, this has really triggered a lot of that latent interest, and you know, I've always been curious about the universe or whatever, and now a big event comes and smacks you in the face kind of thing, and people are now getting very excited. We've got a lot of calls about, well, what telescope do I need to look at the moon, or what other things can I do? My kids are really interested in space now. What can I do? And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, so Splashdown is on Friday. Is there something, we're almost out of time, something happening on Friday to celebrate?
Yeah, we're again going to go live. I'm working on seeing if we can do some kind of in-person event, but we haven't got that nailed down yet.
Okay.
But yeah, the museum will be doing live coverage one way or the other.
Okay, thank you, Scott, for sharing this with us. And again, if you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thank you.
No problem, thanks.
Hi everyone, Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we head to Nationals Park for one of the best catches you'll see all season.
Littell, and a great way to start his evening.
In the air to right, James Wood going with it into the corner. Did he bring it back? He did! Oh, 6 foot.
That's James Wood, who gets up and robs Nolan Gorman of a home run. He went 99 feet to catch this ball. Incredible grab from the Nats outfielder, and it is your must-see moment from Monday. Tonight on TSN, it's Tangerine Raptors basketball. The Raptors are taking on the Heat in a potential play-in preview. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Tuesday, April 7th. Cannabis scare. An alleged instance of luggage tag tampering in Winnipeg causes 2 travelers to be detained for a time in Toronto. Middle East deadline, a warning to stay off trains as the Israelis may target Iran's rail system as leverage toward opening of a key shipping route. And Artemis astronauts are celebrating several space firsts on this moon mission. But amid all the science and spectacle, they're still leaving room for dessert. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now at 8:15, we're going to hear about this new interactive game that's happening. It's kind of fun. Do you remember the Newlywed game?
Oh, yes, I do. That was
much
funny.
Fun.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Well, they're going to do a version of that here, and it's going to be brand new couples putting their love to the test. So we're going to find out more about that.
I'm a newlywed.
You are
kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't even celebrated a year. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
You should check it out.
Ooh.
So we'll have details on that. Also at 8:45, he's called the AI Godfather. His name is Jeffrey Hinton. He worked for Google, and then he left Google because of some of the concerns that he had about AI and some of the warnings.
Ooh.
So he's coming to Winnipeg. We're going to have some details on his chat and find out more about that. But let's talk about the weather.
Let's talk about the weather.
Alberta Clipper on the way.
Can we talk about anything else? Oh, my goodness. I would really love to avoid this topic. But the fact is, we're not going to avoid the storm, or it's not going to avoid us. So we better just brace ourselves and get ready for what's to come. -7 at the moment, feels like -13 with a south wind 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity at 90%. And yes, we're still enjoying a little bit of sunshine out there right now. You can see parts of the southeast and much of northwestern Ontario still in the clear, but the clouds are coming on in and they're bringing the snow. So all of this is going to be pretty much blanketing southern Manitoba, and we're in for a bit of a walloping. Actually, the worst walloping will be through the more central stretch, probably areas just north of the Trans-Canada Highway. Northern Manitoba, beautiful day for you. Sunshine, plus digit temperatures, probably the best of what anyone in the province will expect today. Later on this afternoon is when we'll probably begin to see the snow here in Winnipeg, but you can see it's central Manitoba that is likely to be the hardest hit by this system. Now, it will warm up, and as a result, we could be seeing a bit of a rain-snow mix, and that could be into the early morning hours, maybe making things especially icy on the streets. Just keep in mind that this is a couple of day event before it eventually pushes on off to the east, and we'll see the snow tapering off, the temperatures on the rise, and big improvements to come by the end of the week. Today, 0 degrees, 3 degrees by tomorrow, so you can see it's starting to warm up even with that storm lingering. But the real warm up comes by the end of the week, when we're finally, for the first time in a long time, reaching seasonal values, and then warming up even more so, some double digits for the coming weekend. And thank you for your art, Bryn. I couldn't agree with you more. Cupcakes are the best. And thank you for sharing your art with us. We want to see more of what you're working on. You now submit it through our website at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. When you submit your art, you're also entered to win a $100 gift card for Crockadoodle on Keniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle Paint Your Own Pottery. Make memories that last forever.
An Air Canada employee is facing charges after a man was detained in Toronto for allegedly exporting 33 kilograms of cannabis to Germany.
Somebody cut my bag tag and put it to another luggage piece, like a big suitcase.
We did everything by the book. No, like our bags were never left unattended. We put them straight onto the belt. Everything was good. And then, this whole 12-hour nightmare happened.
The couple was traveling from Winnipeg to Frankfurt. When they got to Toronto for a layover flight, Jan Baumann says he was arrested. He says he was detained for 12 hours, and it wasn't until his partner provided doorbell cam footage of the baggage they left Winnipeg with that he was released. The following month, an Air Canada employee was arrested and charged. Officers say the employee working in the baggage room put passengers' bag tags onto 2 suitcases filled with cannabis. The employee has since been released with conditions, and none of the charges has been tested in court. There were fresh strikes in Iran this morning ahead of the deadline set by U.S. President Donald Trump. This attack left widespread damage in a city in northern Iran. Israel has said strikes were conducted in Tehran and other areas across Iran this morning. The Israeli military also sent out a warning telling people not to travel on trains. This suggests the country's rail network may become a target. U.S. President Trump has given Iran until 8 p.m. Eastern to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. What's it like to fly around the moon, going further from the Earth than any human has been before? We'll let the Artemis 2 astronauts describe it.
When we were on the far side of the moon and out of contact with planet Earth, we all knew it, and it was a milestone. We saw Earth disappear. You're set.
Watching the distance from Earth count up and the distance from the moon count down was one of the most surprising things I've enjoyed.
Yesterday's lunar flyby lasted for about 7 hours. During that time, the crew broke the record for distance traveled from Earth. They also took in some unprecedented views of the moon while also doing some advanced recon for future Artemis missions. The crew is now headed back to Earth with splashdown expected Friday. One thing we have learned about the Artemis 2 astronauts during this mission is that they have a bit of a sweet tooth.
As soon as we went out of comm with planet Earth, we did have maple cookies. As we just gathered together for about 30 seconds, each one of us had a maple cream cookie and then right back into the science.
A little bit about Canada's Jeremy Hansen said the crew found the stash of maple cookies during their first day in space. And it looks like the crew found another sweet treat. A shot inside the capsule showed a jar of Nutella floating around. Looks like they're not eating that out of a bag. Nutella always tastes better straight out of a spoon. Here's the look at what's happening now on the drive along Portage Avenue. It looks like things are moving well. To start off, traffic volumes appear light at this part of the morning. If you see any issues out there, please give us a heads up.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Let's go now to Tandy Vera, who's live this morning at the Leaf. They have a brand new chef and a brand new menu. Good morning.
Hi, Rochelle. I've been having the most heavenly morning. First, I was smelling the most beautiful plants. Now I'm smelling the most divine food. And I'm joined by the new head chef, Chef Mike. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, walk us through. You have a new menu that you've created. Walk us through the beautiful pieces of food that you've made today.
For sure. So over here we have the bread course on the dinner menu. It's a brioche milk bun with whipped brown butter and a little bit of spiced honey, fresh thyme, flaky salt. And then we have charred cabbage with miso. It gets finished with some compressed apples, toasted walnuts, Stilton cheese, which is a really nice creamy blue, a little bit of sumac and fresh mint, and then we have this pork chop. We get a really amazing pork from High Life, sustainable. We get it up from near Nipawa, and we just grill it up to like a nice blushing medium. It gets served with a roasted apple butter, parsnip puree, braised red cabbage, and the sauce gets finished with a bunch of pickled mustard seeds and fresh herbs. Then over here we have the smoked salmon flatbread. So we make a flatbread daily in-house. It gets some whipped cream cheese, some smoked salmon that we've been making here just to try and use up all of the trim from the old menus, some bitter greens, and a roasted lemon vinaigrette with some everything bagel seasoning on it. And then we have what is our take on a paella. Sofrito and bombaroli rice, really nice grilled octopus, saffron aioli, and fresh chervil.
That sounds delicious, but also smells so good. And being the new head chef, how has your experience been so far?
It's been amazing. I really love this kitchen, Gather. It's meant a lot to me over the years, always has. I was here during the open for about 1.5 years, and then I've been back as the head chef for about 3 months.
That's so cool. And even from your descriptions, a lot of the things are local ingredients. Why is it so important to source from the community?
Yeah, I think it's kind of our responsibility as chefs to try and use as many great local products as we can and really champion farmers.
It's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is delicious. If you gotta stop by at Gather to try this beautiful, delectable menu.
Thank you, Tandy. Most of us don't really understand food expiration dates, and what we don't know can lead to food waste. Maddie Gaither reports.
You can find them on granola bags, cereal boxes, and a whole host of products in your pantry. But how much weight do you put into food expiration dates?
It's ideal to know when that food is going to be best utilized by. Now, that's where it gets a little tricky. So that's just an estimate.
Registered dietitian Julia Zumpano with Cleveland Clinic says there are 3 kinds of food expiration dates. One is sell by, that tells the store how long they should display the item for sale. Then there's best by, or best if used by, which is when the product will have its best flavor and quality. Finally, we have used by, the last recommended day for the product to maintain peak quality.
Shelf-stable items are usually the ones that can exceed their dates. So looking at things like dried goods, like rice and pasta and cereal, canned fruits and vegetables, beans, things like that, usually are pretty safe.
Zumpano says to pay closer attention to expiration dates printed on perishable foods in the fridge, like meat and dairy. That's where bacteria and mold are more likely to grow. She says to always use your senses. If you see mold, sliminess, or the color is off, toss it. If it smells off, sour, or moldy, throw it out. And if something doesn't taste right, get rid of it.
If it is past that date, using those senses, or, if you feel better just tossing it, you can. But the goal here is to reduce food waste.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Okay, let me tell you a quick story about food waste. Oh, hang on, we got to do this first. CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. All right, so this Christmas, I was doing my Christmas baking and I found a block of cream cheese in the back of the fridge. And I looked at the date. I won't tell you the date. I'm going to tell you, first of all, that I was like, do you think it's okay? I opened it up. You know how cheese is like wrapped in tinfoil, right? And tinfoil prevents molding, and it had been completely sealed, unopened. I pulled it out. I'm somebody that likes to do the sniff test, right? So I'm like, honestly, it smells good. I was convinced that I should bake with this because there was no problem with it. My husband, on the other hand, a little more reluctant. He's like, Terry, that is 3 years old. You need to toss it just because, but it looked fine. It looked completely fine. The way it was packaged, honestly, listen, I ended up throwing it out. Nobody got sick as a result. Yay, yay, yay. But I'm kind of curious. What if I would have used it? I bet it was completely fine. 3 years old. Anyway, back to the numbers now. -5. We're starting to warm up all through southern Manitoba. We're now just a degree below what is seasonal. However, that's making some gains over the course of the morning. Mid-minus teens through the more central stretch of the province. High minus teens, low minus 20s across northern Manitoba. Now factor in winds and it's feeling like -29. But for most of us, the winds are actually still on the lighter side. That will change. Those winds will be increasing. They're going to get pretty gusty throughout the day today. They're going to be increasing as this system rolls through with the clouds building up and the snow that could be coming at us sideways by later on today is already starting to look a little more blustery in those southwestern parts of the province, and we'll likely see that probably beginning later on into the afternoon. And temperatures climbing to about -1 by the time kids are coming home from school. Still warming up into the evening time. 0 degrees are expected high for today. Not dropping off much overnight, just barely below freezing, and a little bit warmer tomorrow, though the precipitation will continue. Probably a bit of a rain-snow mix as the mercury is on the rise. Now, we'll eventually see it tapering off to some heavier clouds by Thursday. Seasonal temperatures, we have that to look forward to by the end of the week, and look forward even more so to the double-digit temperatures that'll be waiting for us this coming weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Crude oil futures hovering around $111 a barrel. Stock futures edging up, reversing earlier falls as investors remain on edge ahead of Donald Trump's Tuesday night deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump threatened to take out Iran in one night if a deal wasn't made before the deadline. However, he also said Iran was an active, willing participant in wanting to reach a deal. Home sales in the Greater Toronto Area rose on a year-over-year basis in March for the first time in 6 months, while average selling prices moved lower, though. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says 5,000 homes changed hands in March, up 1.7% from the same month last year, marking the first increase since last September. Sales also increased 1.4% on a seasonally adjusted basis from February. And billionaire activist Bill Ackman has proposed a complicated deal for the Universal Music Group, the world's largest music company, which houses the likes of Taylor Swift, Drake, and Sabrina Carpenter. It would combine UMG with a U.S.-based acquisition vehicle that Ackman said would value the record label at 100 billion Canadian, a premium of 78% of the company's closing share price. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Think big collars, big hair, and answer cards. The Newlywed game show was a big hit in the 60s and 70s, and the concept was simple. Newly married couples would secretly answer questions about their relationship and their spouse and see if their partner could reach the same answer later in the show. The couple with the most points won the game and a honeymoon vacation. The show has long been gone, but a new live event coming to Winnipeg is using the format for a fun, interactive event this month. Joining us now are the organizer of the Ultimate Games Night Newlywed Game, Tessa Emery, and the host of the Newlywed Game, Heather Witherden. Good morning to both of you.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an opportunity. That was a great intro, by the way.
Thank you. Well, take us back to the 60s and 70s, and the host, Bob Eubank, of course. You brought the microphone. That's exactly the kind of microphone he used. Describe to us what this game was about.
Oh, well, basically, it's just questions, asking each, like the game show host would say, well, what's like your most annoying habit? What is your spouse's most annoying habit? And it's funny because what's like just the other weekend, we did a little fun Newlywed show, and I asked that question, and the answer was different from what the others, and they're like, what do you mean? That really annoyed you? Like that annoys you? You know what I mean? Like, and so you really discover one another, and I think it's so relatable. I think that's why it was such a fun game, and it lasted so long, and so we're not actually, it's not Newlyweds, it's just we call it like the Newlywed Game couple edition. So you don't necessarily have to be just married, right? So, but yeah, no, it's just it's a fun sort of relatable show, and I just and I thought the vintage look was great, and so that's what we're going to kind of bring back to the show as well, like
some big floral patterns.
Some big hair.
And you notice the mic. That's like the Bob, like Bob Eubanks mic, and
it's fabulous. What was great about the show too, it was kind of ahead of its time.
It was,
a little bit risque in some parts as well, but that's what made it fun for many people and for these couples. And then of course the chance to win a honeymoon vacation, which is fabulous. So let's talk about what inspired you to do that here in Winnipeg. Is it because we have a lot of couples?
Yeah, I think so. And I just was like, I was sitting there in my office. It was February, and I was like, what can we? I don't know. I was just thinking of something fun and exciting to do. It was, you always hear on the news the bad stuff. So I thought, well, let's get into a room together, laugh at each other, and as the couples are kind of like, discovering each other, people are laughing at that as well. And then and then I called the basement, and I said, can I do a Newlywed show there? What do you think? And he was like, that's an awesome idea. Yeah. So, and then I went from there, and I started, like, I ordered this large 12-foot shag carpeting. It looks almost like an Austin Powers set that you're coming on, like, so, and we have like the green plants, like fake plants, and just like the whole vibe is just,
it's going to be like live reality TV.
Yeah.
You're going to see it happen. You're going to see the conflict. You're going to see the drama happen right in front of you, down in the rec room of the basement. And it's very rec room. We've got wood paneling on the walls. We've got some cozy chairs. If you haven't been there, very fun place.
Heather, you're the host. You're going to be holding onto that microphone. You have big shoes to fill with Bob Eubanks. What is it you're hoping to bring to be the host with the mostest?
Well, I am a host in some other shows, so I am hoping for fun, spontaneous answers. I have the questions. I don't know what they're going to say. So it's going to be up to me to react to the audience and react to the answers that they give me, and make it funny, because it's going to be funny.
Absolutely. And this is happening on Friday, April 17th at the Basement Comedy Club. You have the trophy right here.
I do. This is like the Oscar, of the Newlywed Games. So
So you'll win a trophy. We have prizes.
We have prizes as well.
Some prize sponsors. So
and there are tickets available. So if you're interested, we have a link on our website for more details. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. It's going to be a groovy time.
Yes, please sign me up. All right, outside this morning, still seeing little bits of sunshine, but I'm also noticing the impact of these clouds that are starting to move in. But it's still warming up nicely. -5 at the moment. Feels like -11 with that wind just increasing ever so slightly. 18 kilometers per hour now out of the south. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 86%. We will see heavier clouds building throughout the day today and bringing with it some snow, which by later this afternoon, when we're seeing that snow, could be coming at us sideways, as by then the winds could be gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. It's going to get very blustery and below seasonal still. The snow will actually be the heaviest, though, in areas just north of Winnipeg, north of the Trans-Canada, likely through the Parklands Interlake area. Environment Canada is warning of 15 to 20 centimeters. Now, that's a cumulative beginning today, continuing overnight and still throughout tomorrow. Where you're winning the best day ahead is northern Manitoba with some sunshine and some plus-digit temperatures. Everybody where that snow is going to be falling, expect below seasonal temperatures, some stronger winds, and that sideways snow, which could be changing to showers through the day tomorrow as it continues, because even with the precipitation that's expected to be passing through, those temperatures will still slowly rise and rise a little more by the end of the week and getting quite pleasant for the coming weekend. So we do have lots to look forward to. Little Billy Goat Rudy up there on top of the bale with a bird's eye view, or king of the castle, if you will. Josh took this picture. Thanks for sharing it with us. Keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
As we're transitioning through the seasons, we're going to turn to outdoor expert Carson Arthur to maybe give us some tips on how to get our homes ready for the change. Good morning, Carson.
Good morning. I'm in a greenhouse right now. I wish you had smell-o-vision. It smells like spring. It's amazing.
It looks like spring, which I can't say the same out here in Winnipeg. We've been having the longest winters, just dragging on. We welcome the change of the seasons, though. Sometimes, however, it can bring severe weather, and you're going to tell us how to get our homes ready for something like that.
It's true, and here's the bad news. 2026 is going to be a season of unexpected weather again. So whether it's wildfires, floods, droughts, or even severe storms, prevention is the key. So companies like Intact are now starting to collect the best tips on websites, and they're pulling it all together for homeowners so that you can protect your house early.
Okay, so what is it that we're going to be doing then in order to protect our homes from whatever the elements might be?
I'll show you 3 of my favorites. So the first one, this is so easy. If you don't have one of these and you have a house, this is important. What this does, I'm going to stretch it all out. This takes the water from your downspout and puts it further into the yard. One of the big issues is that water, when it going through periods of flooding, goes back down into your foundation. So an expander like this can take the water about 6 feet away from your house and put it in the lawn exactly where it should be. And when you're done, you close it back up so you can cut the grass.
Like, it looks like you could also be a member of a band with a little something like that. That's way too fun.
It's so much fun, absolutely. The next tip, though, I'm one that I didn't even think about. Now, I'm lucky enough to have a wood-burning fireplace, so I have a pile of wood by my front door where it's accessible. But in areas where you're having wildfires and there's floating embers, this can pose a real risk. So during the summer months, if you're in one of those areas, remove the wood pile from beside the house. Put it somewhere else or cover it up with a tarp just to be safe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not even really thinking about firewood in the summertime unless it's out at the cabin where we're, roasting marshmallows.
I know, and I'm the exact same. I've got a big pile, so this is a smart one. Another one at this time of year, all those non-gardeners out there, you got to take care of the branches on your trees. Now, pruning the dead wood is really important, not just for safety, for high winds or, again, those floating embers, but also for the health of the tree because they take care of us. So when you go out, you're going to go out with your pruners. You're going to scrape the bark with your pruners. And if it's green underneath, the branch is still alive. You can leave it be. If it's brittle, you want to remove it. And remember, if it's high up over the house, get an expert in. Go and check out jiffy.ca. They've got verified and trusted experts there with over 30 different types of jobs that they can do, like cleaning your eaves trough or checking your sump pump.
Okay, yeah, hiring an expert might be more my style. But if we did want to check it on our own, that's not going to hurt the tree at all?
Not at all. Just scraping a little bit of the bark is the safest way to do it. Remember, if you want more tips like this, though, go to keepitintact.ca. They've got tons of these tips available for you. And the best part is it's all about prevention. I mean, our homes are where we go to stay safe or we protect our family. So early prevention can go a long way to looking after what matters most to you.
Carson, these are all great tips. We will absolutely check out that website and making sure that we're keeping our homes safe through the season. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Here's a look outside this morning. It's -5, feels like -11. Those winds out of the south are 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 86%. Rochelle is still shaming me for the thought that I might possibly use 3-year-old cream cheese. I'm telling you, it looked good. If it didn't look good, I wouldn't have thought about it. It looked good. It smelled good. Wasn't slimy. Anyway, here's a look. This doesn't look good. This looks awful, like winter, and it's certainly going to pack a bit of a punch too. This is an Alberta clipper that's coming in. We'll see the clouds disappearing, the snow passing through, winds increasing. All of it could create a pretty nasty couple of days. 0 degrees is where we're headed today, with winds at times gusting to 60 clicks, and yes, snow perhaps coming at us sideways as those winds will be increasing. The snow will still continue overnight as we drop down to -1. Those winds easing overnight. They'll be shifting throughout the day tomorrow out of the northwest at about 20 kilometers per hour. Still, the precipitation continues as we rise above the freezing mark, so it could be a bit more of a rain-snow mix throughout tomorrow and eventually tapering off. Now, tapering off on the other side after 15 to 30 centimeters could fall through central Manitoba. So I do want to warn you of the worst situation that Environment Canada is giving a heads up about. Now, the end of the week, we're back to seasonal temperatures, not back to, for the first time in a very long time, seasonal temperatures or maybe even slightly above double digits for the coming weekend.
Double-digit temperatures are on the way, and the warmer weather is adding to the spring melt. This is the Red River by the Forks. Open water is visible as the ice breaks up, forming piles along the shoreline. What appears to be a melting snow structure also rises among the ice. The city warns to use caution around rivers and retention ponds and stay off the ice. The retail landscape in Portage la Prairie is set for some changes. A local group has now purchased that city's vacant mall, which closed at the end of 2024.
There was lots of stores. A Safeway was there, and just lots of different stores, clothing stores, and there was a food court, and it was kind of a meeting place in Portage.
Barry Wright was in high school when the mall opened in Portage la Prairie in 1979, but over the years, stores started closing or pulling out of the mall, including anchor tenants Safeway and Walmart, which originally opened as a Woolco. In December 2024, the mall closed for good, leaving just Rona as the lone business still open that's physically connected to the mall. The owners of that Rona are part of a local group that has purchased the mall, prompting some excitement about the site's future. Beauty has blossomed again in Germany. Check out these gorgeous cherry blossoms. They've transformed this town into a sea of pink, attracting visitors from far and wide. The blooming period typically lasts about 2 weeks, and right now it is considered peak blossom time. We're learning more about an alleged terrifying romance scam from March. A Canadian woman is still jailed in South Korea after her family says she was manipulated into becoming a drug mule. CTV's Andrew Johnson reports.
Inside this South Korean jail, Spring Parks of Surrey, BC, has been locked up for more than 2 months.
Her spirits are okay, not great, but okay. She is in prison, and it's not a pleasant place to be anywhere.
The 59-year-old is deaf and struggles to communicate. She was caught entering South Korea with close to 4 kilograms of methamphetamine hidden in the bottom of her bag.
The prosecutors, naturally, when they see this amount of drugs and drugs being brought in, they don't believe the allegation that this was a scam.
But that's exactly what Park's defense team is convinced of after learning more about her story of traveling from Vancouver to meet a man she'd fallen in love with online, who they say first had her pick up a bag in South Africa.
They prey on wanting this love, wanting attention, wanting someone in their actual life in their later years. Even incredibly intelligent people get caught up in this.
And for Parks, who lawyers say had no idea what was in the bag, then came the hard realization her new love was using her as a drug mule.
She had a difficult time processing this whole situation. She was very emotional and sad.
Her daughters, Andrea and Laureen, in Metro Vancouver, learned their mom was in a foreign jail in a single shocking text and haven't been able to speak to her.
It's a mix of like trying to stay strong and then feeling completely overwhelmed at the same time.
Since they first went public with their mom's story, they've also realized she is not alone.
Wow, this is really happening to a lot of people.
This is something like bigger than our mom at this point.
Vancouver lawyer Jason Tarno has represented several romance scam victims and says the scammers are sophisticated and rarely caught.
They're using burner accounts and burner phones and burner email addresses, and they're gone with the wind after their parcel gets intercepted.
The team representing Spring Parks feels a good outcome here would be a conviction where her disability is taken into account. She's given credit for time already served and is released in a few months. A bad outcome? Up to 10 years in prison. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along Donald Street. It looks like things are moving well in this part of the city. Let's look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.82. The provincial average is $1.70. Excuse me. In Winnipeg, the average is also $1.70, and the lowest price in the city is $1.45. All this information is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers today. Question of the day is, it's National No Housework Day, so we wanted to know what's your least favorite household chore. Washing clothes for Susan. Gina says the least favorite chore is cleaning windows. Love the end result, just hate doing it. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Val really doesn't like dusting. Cleaning the toilets for Chris. Pat's least favorite household task is most definitely dusting. She really hates it. Marlene likes cleaning up, but her least favorite chore is scrubbing the tub and the toilet. Washing dishes, shared Marilyn. Melody says, my least favorite household chore is cleaning the oven. It's awkward and time consuming. And a viewer texted she doesn't like doing laundry. That's why her husband does most of it. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go one last time now to Tandy Vera, who's live at the Leaf this morning. How's it going there?
Hey Rochelle, I've been having the best morning. I'm having so much fun, and I'm joined again by Danny. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for spending the most wonderful morning here. It's been such a blast.
It's been great being here. It's my favorite place. Now, this beautiful display is on for a bit. Please tell people some information about that.
Absolutely. So this is the Kaleidoscope of Spring. We're bringing the spring vibes with the beautiful bright colors of the flowers, and the cacti are really cute, very bright and colorful. We have a garden kaleidoscope where you can kind of look through and just see all the different reflections, and bringing nature into its spring, new life, new form. And it's open till June 7th. So we just opened it. So there's lots of time to come down and check it out. And also we're seeing the beautiful sun coming in, and the sun catchers are kind of starting to dance with the light. And it's really beautiful here. And so we hope everybody comes and checks it out.
That's amazing. And if people want to check out some workshops too and some programming, the Leaf has so much for everyone.
Oh, we have so much going on. Assiniboinepark.ca is the place for everything. To go check it out. We've got a Flora book launch coming up. We've got veggie gardening for kids. We've got a beaded chickadee workshop. We have so many different things that are happening within the park and the zoo and the Leaf. But it's really nice coming in here because we have a bunch of programming that you're learning different things. Like if you've ever wanted to learn how to bead, you can come check it out here. And we have lots of more fun, exciting stuff coming up later on. So make sure to head to the website to check it out.
Yeah, and there's something even tomorrow night for the adults.
Absolutely. So it's Leaf After Dark is tomorrow night. So it's an 18+ event, and it's included with Leaf admission. You come on down if you're looking for a nice date night opportunity. Come on down to Leaf. Come check out the display, and we'll have live entertainment and some nice refreshments, and it'll be a really great, lovely evening. And then next week is Toddler Tuesday. So we have a facilitator that's going to come in. Again, that's included with Leaf admission. Those are for the kiddos. So tomorrow night's for the adults, next week's for the kids, and there's so much more in store coming up later on.
And finally, just with the beauty everywhere, quickly, do you have your favorite flower?
Ooh, that's really hard because they're so beautiful. I have been really enjoying the little cacti in the kaleidoscope. They're just super cute and small. I like the hyacinth because one thing we have is that we have a plant profile every month, and so I got to dive into the hyacinth, and they're super cool and they're super beautiful.
That's amazing. Thank you for joining us. Some more at the Leaf.
Thank you, Tandy. Let's go to the rooftop now. I can't wait to see flowers in my own garden, but it's going to be a while yet with this snow.
You know, I've had pictures sent in to me of people showing off like the little tulip buds trying to come out from under, under what was snow. I think a lot of that maybe has melted now. I mean, we did have some beautiful weather over the weekend, but more snow is coming. So even those few places where the buds maybe did pop out, they'll be covered in a blanket of the white stuff probably overnight and into tomorrow, with it beginning later this afternoon. It's -5 right now, feels like -11. The clouds have been increasing over the course of the morning. The winds have been increasing as well, now 18 clicks out of the south. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 86%. For northern Manitoba, it'll be a beautiful day for you. Enjoy some sunshine and maybe even some plus-digit temperatures. That won't be the case here throughout the south. We might get to the freezing mark, but that'll likely be it, with the heavier clouds building up and some snow by this afternoon. The hardest hit areas, though, are still likely to be through more of central Manitoba, the Parklands, Interlake area. Environment Canada is warning of 15 to 30 centimeters by the time it's all said and done, and that'll be tomorrow. So it won't be a one-day thing. but a 2-day event instead. So by the time tomorrow rolls around, we could be changing to a rain snow mix as those temperatures continue to warm up, but the real warm up will be by the end of the week and the weekend. Taking a break right now, we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Yesterday marked the 8th anniversary of the tragic Humboldt Broncos crash, but the legacy of player Logan Boulet lives on through Green Shirt Day, which takes place today. CTV's Pauline Chan has the story.
They called it the Logan Boulet effect when the organs of the 21-year-old were donated the day after the crash, saving several lives and inspiring thousands to register as organ donors.
Literally 5 lives with solid organs and then corneas. And we had a lot of people tell us after that cornea transplant is saving someone's life because now they can see.
I was in Vancouver donating my kidney through the kidney paired exchange program, September 9th. I was in the waiting room and doing different things and sitting there going, wow, oh, there's this Green Shirt Day contest coming up.
Last year, Candace Cernowski's relative was in dire need of a kidney, but she wasn't a match for him. So she gave her left kidney as part of a chain of transplant donations, ensuring her cousin would get a kidney that did match.
They have a very poor quality of life. So it was really stuffed to see him as a young 30-year-old in his mid-30s man not being able to work and function, take care of himself.
It took her several weeks to return to work, but she says the benefits for the recipient are immediate. And this year, her design was chosen as the logo for Green Shirt Day.
The big puck, and then the lines here are supposed to show it sort of flying the puck. The hockey sticks, the number 27 is Logan Boulet's number.
Logan's dad, Toby Boulet, says this year's theme is one decision can create a lasting ripple effect. And while he would love to see everyone wear a green shirt on April 7th, he says the most important thing is for families to talk about organ donation.
It's about the conversation. Without the conversation, a transplant doesn't occur in Canada. The family has to agree to it, even in the provinces of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, where they're presumed consent. If the family says no, it's a no. So you have to have the conversation.
Across Canada, more than 4,000 people are waiting for organ transplants, about 70% for kidneys. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
He's known as the godfather of artificial intelligence. Geoffrey Hinton is a Canadian-British computer scientist and Nobel laureate who was instrumental in the creation of AI. In 2023, Hinton stepped down from his job at Google and started speaking out about the dangers of artificial intelligence. He's coming to Winnipeg to speak to a sold-out crowd at the University of Manitoba about his work, his worries, and his solutions. Joining us now from the U of M's Department of Computer Science is David Gerhardt. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It's good to see you. Now, having Geoffrey Hinton, a.k.a. the godfather of AI, come to Manitoba to speak is quite significant. Tell us why it's such a big deal.
It's very exciting. He's an in-demand speaker around the world these days. Since artificial intelligence came onto the field a few years ago, there have been a lot of conversations around the power of this technology, but also conversations, especially from Hinton, around the dangers and the risk of these technologies. And so people are asking him to come and speak all over the world, and we're very lucky to have him come and speak next week.
Tell us why Hinton is fearful of the technology he helped to build and what he's warning the world about.
Yeah, so he's been, of course, watching this development for many years. In the 1980s, he was instrumental, he and his lab, building out some of these underlying technologies. And he worked at Google for 10 years, helping them build their artificial intelligence. And of course, OpenAI launched ChatGPT before Google launched Gemini. And at that moment, Google was, holding back a little bit, waiting until they had the right tools to be able to deploy. But suddenly, then it was out in the world and it was deployed widely. And Hinton was very concerned about this because he felt like the technology was not in control in the way that they would like it to be. It's one of these things where it does amazing things, but we're really not quite sure how it works under the hood, and so he had his concerns.
He has hinted that AI will not only wipe out jobs, but maybe even the human race. Tell us about that.
Well, his concern, and the concern of some of the other folks who are worried about this, is that as AI becomes intelligent, as AI becomes perhaps super intelligent, then the relationship between super intelligent species of computers and us lowly humans maybe is a little bit unbalanced. And so his concern is that we want to make sure we're developing artificial intelligence in a way that ensures that they have our best interests at heart when they become more intelligent than we do, if they ever become more intelligent than we do.
Okay, and so you have students. It's a sold-out crowd for this event. What do you want students, future workers, to learn from Jeffrey Hinton, and how they can prepare for the workforce of the future?
Yeah, I hope, especially since it's a student audience, a university audience, and it's of course being live streamed as well, so people can join remotely, to see the impacts not just in the productivity of our own tools and how we can do our own jobs better, but how these tools will impact the much wider field, because it really will likely have an impact on all fields, on all sort of knowledge work, and that transition is coming sort of faster than we might think, and so people are starting to think about what they might do in a world where artificial intelligence can do some of these jobs that we thought only people could do.
It's exciting that it's happening here in Winnipeg, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's a great time for this as well, because the Manitoba government has launched this consultation around what should it be like for artificial intelligence to be in the workforce. How do we use or control or reflect the way that artificial intelligence might be appropriate or inappropriate in our workforce? So our governments are thinking about these things. Our leaders are thinking about these things. The universities and the schools are all thinking about what the transitions look like, what education and what work might look like in a world that has these tools sort of throughout the world.
Very cool. Okay, well, David, thank you for your time today, and good luck with the show.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, that sounds like a fascinating conversation. Okay, outside this morning, -5, feels like -11 with those south winds, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 86%. We've been watching the clouds building up. Where it'll be the sunniest today, northern Manitoba. Where it'll be the snowiest, central Manitoba, but southern Manitoba will be seeing some of that as well. So for northern Manitoba, Churchill might be seeing feeling some slightly cooler temperatures, but other places could be seeing the temperatures push beyond the freezing point up into the plus digits today, with a bit of sunshine to enjoy. Overall, a very pleasant day expected throughout the north. Central Manitoba, this is where the impact will be the greatest from the storm that's coming in, and you're looking at 15 to 30 centimeters of snow accumulative over the next couple of days. Further into the south, not as hard hit, but 2 to 10 centimeters. And I know that that's a large varying number, but so too could be clippers depending on when and how they hit. So the possibility is there for a little more snow, or it might just be a little bit. Could be a little bit of rain as well, especially into tomorrow as those temperatures continue to warm up. Today, just to the freezing mark. Tomorrow, 3 degrees expected. After that, we're done with the snow, and some warmer temperatures will be moving in, especially even more so as we're looking to the coming weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, we're going to say goodbye, but first we're going to show you some fun video. We kick things off with a wife who wished she got some clarification of this simple saying. She was told that marriage would open doors for her, but wished she knew which doors, dishwasher, washer, oven, and microwave, were not what she was picturing when she heard the phrase, because she had these doors when she was single, too.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard that it would open doors for us.
Me neither.
I wonder where she gets her information from.
Well, toddlers have a can-do attitude with most things, even with the things they can do. Oh, he's so good. After watching his dad juggle, this tot thought it could do it as well. So he picked up some blocks, dropped them, and moved his arms around just like Dad did. He's such a natural. Look at him.
He's so fast you can't even see the blocks flying.
What a cutie.
Superstar.
So sweet. And lastly, a little boy having the last laugh before picture day.
What are we supposed to do for pictures tomorrow?
Don't draw on our face.
A 4-year-old Keen thinks he's funny. He drew all over himself with black marker the night before school photos. When asked how he was going to get it off, he suggested soap, water, and Black Panther. That does it for us. See you tomorrow.